Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Before we get started, I have prepared a written statement, if y'all would allow me just a few moments to read this for you. Given the season, I felt like this was very appropriate. So, let me see. Where are... Oh, there they are. Hold on a second. Need my reading glasses. Okay. This is 'Twas the Night Before Schmodown by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Schmodown, when all through the house every creature was stirring, including the Flirtenflouse. The notification bell was clicked with deep care, in hopes that Christian Harloff soon would be there. The tickets were purchased or Patreon subscribed. The moment of the year has finally arrived. Making a poem about Schmodown means using the proper vernacular. But who cares about grammar? Tomorrow's the spectacular. There have been battles in Star Wars, losses to Alex Damon aplenty. But will the demon win? Or is it Ace's continued upset city? Cherry Bomb Brittany Young arrives from the TV show Low. But can she stop Le Champion? Because Schmodown is Jericho. Who will leave the team's match with belts in hand? Mark and Jeff, the odd couple, or Biz and Brendan, Shazam? Have you seen the trash talk by Chandru and Chance on Twitter? Time to see who is the king of IG and who's a bullshitter. Brett Sheridan's still new, but his win he could rob. Because how the hell do you lose a match against someone named Silent Bob? And can we take a minute to acknowledge how awesome it is to have Kevin Smith? He popped up and went viral like a monolith. And then we have the biggest fight of all. Merle versus a rookie, an order quite tall. Adam Collins comes in with a precise direction, slaughtering veterans, giving our brackets correction. Dan Merle's the GOAT with a very long reign, but coyotes eat goats. That's the trivia food chain. Harloff and Ellis have given us quite the show. And despite this year, it's amazing to see it grow. While we have to meet in this virtual realm, we will be back at live events soon, so massive they overwhelm. If you want to give money, this Streamlabs link is the answer. Any donations given tonight will help us smash cancer. I hope you like this poem. It was almost a sonnet. I leave you with 3 words tonight. Yodi for chronic. Let's get this show started. Paul, come on board. What's going on, man? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well. It's gonna be starting as a good night, and I think it's only going to get better, my friend.
Amen.
Here's to you, my friend.
Cheers.
Wow, I can't believe a year ago today, or is it actually today? A year ago, whatever. A year ago, time-wise, we were over at Eric Rodriguez's house with every reactor under the sun, and we were all sitting down, and we had watched the family match, and, well, let's just say, I guess hilarity ensued, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That was such great times, great memories. So, with that being said, we've got more people to join us this year as well.
We do. Who are we going to bring on first? Your choice, my friend.
Well, since you're the one in control of this, let's go ahead and bring on the other half of C2A that's here right now. I'm not saying there's only 2 people, but there's only 2 of y'all here right now.
You want to join us today?
Oh, Alex. Oh, yeah. Going to town.
Oh, there she is. There she is.
Yes.
I didn't want to finish this before we started.
I had to
really bad timing. I literally didn't realize you guys were. All right.
Yeah.
Hi.
Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm spiffy. I got my snacky cheddars. I got my Vizzies. I got mango pineapple, and we're here to chat some Schmoedown and for a good cause. So I'm ecstatic.
What's up with this? That like 1 year ago you were repping White Claw. A year later you've matured and you've moved on to Vizzies.
Have I? Is it maturation? Is it? It comes out of. It comes from a necessity. You know, where there was a time where White Claw was unavailable. And because there was literally a national or perhaps international shortage of White Claw. And so we got to do what we got to do. And this is just so dang tasty. It really is. It's really great to sneak into into a country club to go golfing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just magic.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still going to stick with the Jameson. That's my my initial thoughts on that.
You can't really sneak Jameson onto a golf course though. Actually get like 18 holes though. That's the thing. You know, like Jameson.
You just need a fatter putter, is what I'm hearing.
If you are, you're not playing golf. You're not playing golf right. Let's be honest.
Oh man, this is such a good time we had last year, and I'm looking forward to having another good time this year. But we did mention it's for a good cause. If you guys do want to send in any Streamlabs, it's on the page there. It's pinned to the top of the chat, thestreamlabs.com/Smash-A-Thon. Tip. We'll answer all your questions. We'll answer all your questions you have. Any questions you have about Schmodown Spectacular, I'll answer anything personal. I can't speak for everyone else. I'll answer anything personally you want to know too. Anything you want to know, because it's all going to go for a good cause. It's all going to go towards the Kevin Smets GoFundMe page. Since we are on the Smash-A-Thon page, it was a good idea. The Smash-A-Thon page was used for our famous, I don't even know how long it was, 28-hour plus 30-hour stream we did to benefit Kevin Smets. And we've kind of turned it into a place where the reactors, we're all friends for the most part, except for Shug. I hate Shug. I can't talk to him.
Shug's all right. It's that Ferris guy.
Ferris, maybe it's Ferris. I'll just say. At least it is.
He's backstage too, and we're like, ha.
But we are going to try to use this more often because we do like getting together. We like crossing over. So it's a good place. We get a common meeting ground. So
we like crossing our streams.
We do. We're not like the Ghostbusters.
It's almost like we like each other or something, you know, like I guess y'all are okay. Paul can suck it, you know, but you know, Robert, I'm here for. I'm excited about Robert, you know, and excited for, you know, but Paul.
No, Alex, we do have a lot of fighting. We have fought many times in the past, but you are a worthy sparring partner. I'll give you that much.
Is that what it is?
Let's bring on. Let's bring on someone that I'm familiar with as well, so we can at least get this up to the 4 people that are here right now that were a part of this last year. Bringing, I believe I guess we could bring my little brother on. Just No.
Before Schmodown Spectacular, what? Oh. Is that poem done yet?
Yes.
I forgot how long that poem is.
That was the short version too.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to be here.
Going pretty well.
How are you doing on the other side of our apartment right now?
Doing great. Cool.
Now, of course, you remember we had the Streamlabs before. If you give up enough money, Chris will go tackle Robert. That's what we did last time. We'll do that again.
Let's not do that again.
Probably not this time.
That if you hit like $100 in Streamlabs, Chris will tackle Robert.
You're gonna have to hit about 1,000 at this point.
If you drop 1,000, I might tackle him.
That would be revenge.
Let's see this. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it was the 4 of us out of who's here right now for this stream. It was the 4 of us that were over at Eric's last year.
Right.
So memories.
I kind of wish that we had like clips of that. Like there was like a handful of clips that because if you guys don't remember, everyone in the chat, you know, if you're not part of the Action Army, but that was a big night for us, okay? So I remember taking care of Paul for a bit, you know.
I don't have a lot of memories of that night.
Yeah, I bet you don't. Yeah, one of those.
That bottle looks familiar.
It does look a little familiar, doesn't it?
I saw that a year ago.
If y'all
It's
don't know what
beloved.
we're talking about, this is actually on Nerd Chronic's channel. Oh, you have it queued, ready to go too.
I have a picture. It's not a video. It's a picture. It's a picture I have, but I could get.
This is what I'm doing with my claws.
Nice.
You can see like I'm holding 2 white claws.
This is over
Nothing's
on
changed.
Nerd Chronic's channel from last year. Us reacting at his house. We reacted to, I believe, what was it? Was it Family versus Shazam?
Yes, that's what it was.
Family versus Shazam, and then of course you had Andrew Guy announcing immediately that he was retiring, and the entire Action Army just lost their shit. Like everyone just was like, okay.
Yeah, that was we were very. Some of us were sad. Some of us were besides themselves. Some of us were mad.
Were really drunk.
Some of them were pissed off as hell and weren't going to take it anymore. By the way,
And some of us might have peed ourselves, literally or figuratively. I'll leave that to you.
Some people might have had Andrew Guy on speed dial.
Well, I will say I was on Action Unfiltered earlier. I did show him about Jameson. I kind of told him what we were doing. I said, you might get a drunk call a couple hours from now. And they said, okay. He said he's there for it. It's sad to see. I think he won't answer me this time, probably. Not like last time.
So especially because we're not reacting to a match right now, so there's no like bomb droppers that Andrew Guy's laying on us right now. Apparently, though, he did hack the movie Trivia Schmodown Twitter account. We might talk about that in a little while.
I thought Skybound had better range on that.
I'm telling you, he is. He knows what he's doing. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I really thought Skybound had better reins on that, but I guess Andrew got through somehow.
Just any old guy can get in. I mean, just saying.
He's not any old guy.
He's not any old guy, but a bump. That's bad. Well, should we bring on our other 2 reactors here at this point from the other podcasts we have not talked about yet?
Yes, let's bring on some new people that have just started this season and are already doing a fantastic job. I love watching their content because they do some good stuff. Oh yeah. So let's bring on who do we got? We got Suge Knight and Ferris from Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmodown, who will be popping up on screen any second now. There they are.
There it is. There's Ferris.
What's up? Oh, I brought Ferris on first.
How you doing, Ferris?
I'm doing good.
Ferris?
I'll join you. I'll join you, Ferris.
Ferris is one of my favorite reactors in the community, I will say. I do love fighting with him a lot. We do yell at each other a lot. He says he doesn't yell at me, but I think he just yells in general. But Ferris, man, how are you excited about tonight? Do you have any preconceived notions about tonight and tomorrow for that matter?
No, I just thought we're talking about Schmodown matches. That's all I was told. I showed up. That was it.
Fair enough.
Shug
We're glad you're here, Ferris.
Shug was like 7:30. Click this link.
Yeah, okay. All right. I do kind of want to clarify something. Like the Let's Get Ready podcast is pretty darn fantastic. If you're not aware, go check it out. But let's be honest, Ferris is like the big kahuna, and Suge is like the Burger King.
Is that what it is? Wow, all right. I'll accept that for now.
I am okay with.
Honestly, I love these people. I just want to clarify. I do love these people, but I'm just going to say.
No way this could go wrong. No way.
You know what? I enjoy being compared to a fictional burger joint that Sam Jackson loves to eat in Pulp Fiction. I'm okay with that.
It is a tasty burger.
Burger King. He eats at the Hawaiian burger, hula burger.
Nice, very nice.
It's the Big Kahuna burger.
The Big Kahuna is the burger, like McDonald's has the Big Mac. Big Mac. The
The Big Mac.
You got it. You're
I'm here for movie trivia, not burger knowledge. I mean, I like hamburgers.
This is exclusively burger knowledge. Okay, there is no such thing as far as I know. There's no such thing as like the Kahuna burger joint or anything in real life.
Well, you know what? Let's bring on somebody who, like me, obviously likes a good burger. Shug, how you doing, my friend?
There he is.
I'm feeling a little attacked right now by Alex. I was a fan when I started watching the Schmodown and the reactors, and now I just don't know with her. But I do want to see Alex manage in the Schmodown. So make sure to hashtag that Alex, for manager or manager Alex, whatever you want to hashtag. But Alex, love you.
You know what?
I do love you guys. I do.
I actually played against one of Alex's people in a mini mock trivia match. I lost because, of course.
Oh, surprise!
Yeah, surprise. But I didn't lose. I only lost by 3.
You get
Just
there.
3.
I know you had 7 points.
I had 7 points.
You know
You
what?
had 7 points. I had 12?
15.
15.
At an F.
Okay, so
God,
45% accuracy. Okay.
So there's the
You
crew.
had a really hard question though, in
That
the
was
car question from Fast and Furious though.
So
Now we're
Jeff
not
gonna
Guardian chance.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch this whole thing, but I should I think the beginning will basically say it all. This is what last year was like at Eric's.
I'm Vanessa. And we are late to the party with the behemoths in the Schmodown Reactors
He
universe.
called me a behemoth.
New British Empire, dedicated to art, call to action.
It's like half the room.
We win by sheer numbers. That's how we do it. War of attrition. We win.
Oh, that was back when I could move easier.
Also, don't forget, there's a handful of locals that are they're not technically from Teamplay, but they're good friends of ours. So they're sorry, she's not part of Teamplay, but she's part of the family.
Hey, yo, baby Dwayne.
Yeah, there's Dwayne in there.
Chance is in there. He's hanging out with us.
You got the Begs are in there.
Eggs are there. Yep. And there's the bottle. Okay, so
And there's the bottle.
And there's the bottle.
The most key point to this is there's the bottle.
here's the bottle. Here's us all watching stuff together. And
Yeah.
drunker and drunker.
Oh, Danny and I are just Danny, Kelsey, whenever we go to a live event, we're kind of it's ridiculous. I love my husband. I'm very affectionate with my husband, but suddenly all that affection transfers to Danny and Kelsey, where we're all hugging the entire time. Look at that. The constant contact is there.
Take 3. Always got to
Oh, look
have
at that.
on board. Speaking of new reactors and old reactors, all of us. If you were ever a reactor at one point, you're part of a long-standing community here. So just wanted to throw a shout out there to you guys, the ones who can't be here, or aren't around as much anymore. But
If there's one thing,
still in our
if
heart.
there's one thing I learned in the last year, is that I'm glad we got a transparent logo.
You right?
Yeah.
My favorite thing is that someone passed Paul the Jack Daniels, right? And people wanted to drink from it. He just wouldn't let it go.
It's true. It's very true.
I've never seen a man make love to a bottle like Paul Denuzio did.
Well, I was gonna say I have, but that was Paul Denuzio at this event last year. He made some sweet love. He did chef's chocolate salty balls with that.
Going too far.
I do want to point this out there is that I do think, in spite of the most recent, teams tournament, I have to say that I still say, Andrew Guy is probably my top, is 100% actually in my top 10 team competitors of all time.
I think he's underrated and definitely in one of the greatest team players of all time. His record speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Very fair.
Absolutely. Very underrated.
Well, guys, do we want to hang on for a little bit before we get into any other further discussion, since we got some others who will be joining us?
Real quick, can we actually go to the end where we'll have our mental breakdown?
So
Real quick.
Oh yeah. We want to see the.
Is that okay? I'll find out where he actually says it.
It's the post interview.
Yeah, it's right here.
Because I might have cried a little bit.
Oh no, that's right. Danny started laughing.
Alex, we all cried.
Yeah, there it was.
Yeah.
There it was.
if you want to cry, sorry, I don't want to cry. But thing is with her, if you haven't noticed, Danny, when she gets nervous or scared or sad, she starts hysterically laughing. It's like a thing. Once you notice it for the first time, you can't unsee it.
I like that we got two angles on it.
Here it is.
Keep that in mind whenever you're watching Chill in the future.
It's okay, boo boo. There's Alex.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, well, big loss and a big moment, and I wish I played a better round one, but I think that's probably a good time to announce my retirement. What? No, time out. Yeah.
Oh no!
He's like, timeout. Stop.
No, time out. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's time for me to step away.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Paul's face.
Look
at Alex's face.
Oh, why are you?
I'm like angry.
Alex is gonna kill a mofo. I mean,
Yeah, look at Alex.
Jake's back there like, well, shit.
At this point, see, I'm holding it back because I'm actually holding back the tears.
Right.
I do that when I'm like trying not to cry. I'm like, no, blinking back
There you
the
go.
tears.
Paul pulled the phone out.
This is the first of 27 times.
Yeah.
I remember, Paul. Didn't we do a reaction to this, Paul?
We did do it. I think on Fieldy Friday.
I all I did was just stare at Paul since that moment, and he pulled out his phone like 8 times.
The greatest part was when Drew did a reaction to it, and Drew started laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
Uh,
This feels so-
Kelsey's just sitting there with her hand over.
Kelsey is shocked
Yeah.
and dismayed.
This feels awkwardly meta right now.
Yeah. So this is what we're gonna do. Next year we're gonna do this like reactor thing again, and we're gonna replay this stream that we're doing right now.
reactor inception again.
Yeah.
It's a tradition. We just react to us, reacting to us every year until
Like
it's
the
just like a
previous
long
year.
hallway of just us reacting to.
What have the movie guys done to cause this ruckus?
They've infected all of our minds with
Unleashed
hilarity.
the beast.
So angry.
See, look, wiping away the tears. Both Danny and I are kind of freaking out right now.
I kind of wish that y'all got Billy Belford there that night also,
I
because
think
that would have been
Billy Belford for that reason.
yeah.
What? Bullshit! It's bullshit.
No, I do want to point out that Paul at this time is like trying to reach out to Drew or Ben or something to, get some answers.
I did.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're kind of freaking out because we're like, I call everyone in T2A over to the backyard where I end up like stepping in poop, obviously. And
I remember going to the backyard like, hey, are you guys okay? And you're like, Robert, go away. We're having a
private time. But there was one where I was like telling him, I was like, do we need to rethink this game plan we have with our show, with our channel? Because we're so focused on the action guys and specifically at that time, almost exclusively Andrew Guy. So I was like, do we need to reroute a little bit? Like, what's our game plan? And we need to figure something out. And Paul was like flubbing around,
It was ridiculous.
They almost changed their name to Call to Inaction. It almost happened.
Oh, and then you got Dylan that shows up after all the drama's already happened.
He already knew it happened too.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I left my phone in the Uber."
More like the inaction army.
I just want to, just as for a record, just to clear my name a little bit here, just for a second. This was Drew's actual talking about it later on. He talked about what happened.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Josh, like Paul emptied the Jameson at that react. I was dying at like fuck that. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it.
You're running around the backyard trying to get you. Be like, put the phone away, put it down.
So much. Paul's our friend. I watched that over and over and over.
So that was that at that point. But so Drew didn't appreciate it after all. I'm not sure he appreciated that night, but he says he does. So we do have some people in the background we're going to bring on. If we're ready to go, give us a thumbs up if you are ready to come on. You are.
Not you, Chris. You're already on.
Yeah, Chris, you're already on. All right.
I wasn't doing it for that. I was already in the process of giving a thumbs up before he said it.
I'm guessing that the other stream is done, or at least he left early either way. But welcome to the stream, CPOVs. Jake, Merlin, how are you doing, my friend?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Hey.
Excellent.
What's going on, Jake?
And getting better every day.
Hey, there we go.
Nice.
That's actually. Hey, Jake.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm drinking water because I got work tomorrow. So,
here's the thing. I will state at the very top of this entire stream, this happening right now, that was Jake Berlin's idea.
Was it Jake's Berlin?
Yes. He told me, and I was like, "That's a good idea." And then we got the ball rolling on it. And
next year we should.
Hey, man, can one of you Jakes like change your name?
Ferris, hold on.
We should all do this again in person next year at the next spectacular. Let's make that happen.
I think so too. Well, and that I was going to say. So I was talking to Robert and Chris, and they had talked about what you guys did last year at Spectacular,
right?
And they were talking about trying to figure something out to do as a after show community, and whether it was before, after, or whatever it may be. And I was like, well, we might have time a day or two before. Why not just recreate that on screen and put all four of us together after this wild year that we've had? And I'm glad it worked out because this is awesome. I mean, all four shows on screen at once, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, we were saying before, Jake, how we're all very happy. Like it really is a community of friends. Like once you become a reactor, you kind of interact with each other. We all love the same things so much. We all do our own different takes on it. But it's an amazing community overall, and I love all you guys, man. It's been great to. I mean, you guys weren't around for last year for the thing, but I'm glad you're here now. You guys, let's get ready. It's really great to see it. Older, new. It's all one big happy community.
Well, that's technically not true because Jake Berlin, me and him talk all the time. He posted pictures, and he posted pictures of Spectacular, and
that's right.
Row over on this side. This was my first live event. I am on the other side, right behind you guys.
Right.
So we were actually all there, not in the house, but it's kind of funny how it works out that Jake was over here watching Spectacular. I'm in the corner at my first live event, and you got all of C2A's right here, and I know Chris and Robert were upstairs. So if you think about it, it's really crazy.
Okay,
all of us are now here.
Also,
been to live events.
No, yes. I was also going to add that I was also in PLD and Alex. You guys won't remember this, but I was actually sitting in the booth next to you guys at the awards. This past year.
Nice.
So
really?
myself and Brian, we were there at the awards, and so we saw you guys win the award and everything. So we were actually in that vicinity too. Just that
and then I was in the corner. I was in the corner of the
entire time, like 90% of our conversation was like, "Why isn't this person chosen yet during the draft? Why isn't Stacey Howard chosen by like the 5th round? Like, what's so going on?"
Yes.
We're all starving and we're all drinking, and where's the food?
Yeah, no food.
There was no food.
It took like 4.5 hours, and everyone was like vibrating with hunger. Everyone was like actively talking about how hungry they were the entire time.
Here's you should have ordered a Blue Moon beer because they would have given you the slice of orange with it.
At that point, I was like several shots
right there.
in, like several beers in. That's not gonna cut it, my dude. That's not gonna. The beer.
I remember at the draft awards, I know me and my brother, we kept like turning around looking back at Silvestrini like, why haven't they called you yet? This is saying like
it's an outrage.
preposterous.
almost about to get upset that no one has chosen Rachel Silverstream yet drafted her. I was like,
we actively talked about it. Yeah. We had that exact situation where we were like all like actively not so much yelling at each other, but we were drinking. So, volume is like, what is yelling, when you're drinking? And so that was like an active conversation.
We have one more person to bring on hang on the background real quick this way. Mike K, yes, that's what we said at the top of the channel. We are going to try to use this a little more, try to get a couple more crossovers. We're going to have the Smash-A-Thon, but now we're going to have some crossovers as much as we can because we all tend to like each other for the most part. So overall here,
crossovers, any charity streams like the Smash-A-Thon, this is the new home of that.
And speaking of that, look at that. Get those Streamlabs in. They will be going. We do have a few Streamlabs. I'm going to throw it out to everybody. But first, we'll bring on our last person of the night, as well.
For right now.
Last but certainly not least, one of my favorite people in the community from CPU.
Switch our positions.
I will. I'm going to do that as soon as we did. Hold on one second. One step at a time first. First, let's bring on Jilly Marie.
There she is.
What's up, party?
What is
up?
Jill?
I'm going to. There you go. You happy now?
Hello.
I was gonna say put Jillian above me and Jake, but sure, yeah, put Jake above.
How about that? We'll do that.
There we go.
All right.
Get them down there. Jilly, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's a Friday. I got like 4 hours of sleep. I'm here to party. Let's go.
Indeed.
Look at you. I don't even have like a beverage.
I know you're famous for bringing the Jameson, so
I know, but the thing is, I'm saving because I was on Rachel's show last night, and I was thinking about getting Jameson, and I was like, it's like sacrilegious to have Jameson and not have it like live with like my friends. So I'm literally saving Jameson until like studios open again and live events are a thing. I am saving the Jameson.
So like next December.
The Jameson will be a flowing.
And PLD will be drinking all of it.
I will do everything I can to take in as much as I can. So, we do have some Streamlabs before we actually get into start breaking down tomorrow's event. We had Ben Rayner donating a generous amount. Says, here's to a spectacular weekend. Got my Smash-A-Thon shirt yesterday. Going to rep it tomorrow. Looking forward to some incredible matches. Great poem, Robert. So one fan of your poem, Robert. Well, at least one fan. And those Smash.
Oh, yeah, poem. Forgot about that.
Okay. All right, here we go. And Sorry, of course, lovely Sorry. We miss you too. She was on that video as well. No question, but just sending all the love to your side of the Pacific. Happy, spectacular Eve, everyone. And one more from Steve from Movie Fanobi. Very, very generous individual as well. Is this GoFundMe stream for a new Ed Harris series on Disney Plus? PLD told us about it. Each contribution receives a sample of Ed Harris's DNA. High Rollers also receive a plant fertilizer by PLD. Hashtag Smash Cancer. That's a totally different stream idea. But I love the idea. I love where your mind's at. Ed Harris is going to get a Disney Plus series. I just don't know what it is yet. That's all.
Boom.
And that's a national treasure, right?
Getting those donations in and ask us any questions about Spectacular, about Schmodown, about our channels, or personal. I'll answer personal as well. So
he does die in National Treasure, I believe.
Spoilers.
He does, and that's why we can't have a National Treasure today.
Like 15 years old, Robert.
I love National Treasure.
National Treasure's the best.
Yes.
It's like there's no reason for that sequel for it to be made into a perfect trilogy. Like apparently it had the money, but supposedly according to numerous interviews, it was because it wasn't really great with marketing. They weren't sure how to turn it into a theme park ride, or they weren't trying to merchandise it, kind of thing. And that's BS because that movie is fantastic.
It's just
National Treasure is a national treasure.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
I cannot wait to introduce that movie to people that have never seen it.
Honestly, man, they should steal the Statue of Liberty in number 3. Steal it.
Yes.
There's a hidden code. Yeah. There's a hidden code in the flame.
They need to team up with the Now You See Me movies and do that.
There you go.
Just a crossover. Atlantis or something.
Is it also very despicable me-ish? They're gonna steal like monuments and stuff.
No, he's tried to steal the moon.
There's a map on the moon.
It's a map on the moon. It's a code. On the dark, there's a code on the dark side of the moon, so we can bring the Transformers people.
Can I put some lemon juice on it?
All right, that's enough Pink Floyd talk on this. I'm going to be the one to mention the Pink Floyd, of course. Who did we just lose?
Alex. She said she'd be right back.
Oh, she had to go. Yeah, she'd be right back.
So before we jump into the thing, here the first thing I wanted to point out is last year, what we've been talking about so far over at Eric's house, we got like almost all the after show reactors that were available. There were a couple that weren't able to make it to that, like say Albert, for example. Albert was a great reactor last year. I know JTH was able to make it to Spectacular, but I don't think he was able to make it to the house.
No, unfortunately.
So here's the thing. Like, I know we have a lot more reactor and after shows this year that are not on this stream. Unfortunately, this is completely due to the limitation of StreamYard and like how many people were able to keep on stream. I'm actually really surprised this year StreamYard jumped it up to allowing 10 people on a stream at once. So progress. But
we're gonna have all 10 screens filled up eventually at some point.
But yes, should this have been a normal natural year, we probably would all be at some kind of like bar or maybe back at Eric's house again, doing another video type of thing with as many people in the after show business that we could get. So much love to those who are also after show reactors that are not here on this stream. We definitely see you. We know you. Much love to you. Good job putting in the work so far this year. Keep it up.
Shout out to my Canadian homies.
Yeah. Shout out to Mount Schmodown, Ultimate Schmodown, Spin from the Wheel. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good content out there. Trust me. Yeah, repeat the question.
Question. Yeah. Underrated reactor.
He's back writing articles, by the way.
Yo, I saw that. He's back.
Yo, homie, David's the homie. Love David Saturday.
Yeah.
Had a phenomenal discussion with that guy about Schmodown.
Yeah. He's really
shout out to all of them, and then shout out to all the people on here. I know me, Jake, Ferris, Jillian. We looked up to Cinefanatics, C2A, Take 3 Productions. We're new on the block, and so I want to say thank you to the C2A and Cinefanatics for paving the way for us.
Absolutely,
to come on and do our reactions, because it's been amazing getting to know all of you. Like I said a year ago, I met Paul at Spectacular. I was a fan. And now I'm sitting here with you guys, as a reactor, as friends, because I consider all you guys friends and good people. So, shout out to everybody that does reactions, and love this community.
Likewise.
And shout out to Danny Ramirez. I love her too.
Yes, we love it. We love ourselves, the Danny Ramirez. Yeah, couldn't be on tonight. A little bit of stuff. She wishes us all well. She wishes everybody well. She loves you all and wishes the community well. Danny, we love you. So
love you, Danny.
Yeah, Tim Sim. Why are we all forgetting about Tim Sim? Shout out to Tim Sim, man. That's the homie right there.
I mean, hold.
Like low key OG,
Can I just do a really subtle?
Go ahead,
Can I do a subtle shout out to Tim Sim for tagging me in every single Chandru vs. Chance post he makes? And goes, Jillian, what do you think? I see you, Tim. I see you.
Hey, man, you know what? I love
stirring the pot. I see you. I see you,
love
Tim.
It, man. I love it. Love it.
I know. We're big fans of him because he helped us out forming the meetup that we did at Houston last year.
So long ago.
Oh man, that was when I first met Paul too. Yeah.
Yep.
So when Paul and Billy Belfer came walking into our meetup, like they were flanking Andrew Guy like they were his bodyguard. I was like, what the hell is Andrew Guy like something like spectacular, no pun intended, person that he needs like Paul and Billy Belfer to like, wow.
Yeah, we got drunk, so we weren't very good muscle. At least I did. I don't know.
That's where I got this. jacked it off from that day, and they were not good bodyguards, and I was like, give me that.
I'm very susceptible to drinks, so.
Just give Paul like a bottle of Jack, and he'd be like, "You do whatever the fuck you want."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know Houston last year was really like where like the fan community, specifically at live events, really like started coming together, because we did like the meetup before the night before, and right before Mark Ellis's stand-up, and then there was supposed to be just the Action Army hangout, which turned into the after party after the live event.
Oh, it's supposed to be a Patreon event for the Action Derby. It was Patreon members, and all of a sudden,
that just became the after party.
That poor bartender.
Like a lot of the fans, everything came together,
Fair
and that was great.
Oh, but here we are. We're about an hour in now. I think we got everybody else on, and we haven't even started talking about tomorrow yet.
Oh yeah.
So I think you're probably
strap in.
No, let's be honest. Like, Spectacular and everything, Spectacular Eve. I'm excited to chat about that and all that good stuff. But we're just here to hang and chat. I mean, we're in a kind of a situation where we all like low key know each other very well. I saw this like post on Facebook recently talking about after shows, like putting one against the other, and I'm like, dude, there's no us versus them. Like, I genuinely love everyone within Let's Get Ready. I genuinely love everyone in Mount Rushmore and in a certain point of view, because at the same time, I really don't like when people try to put us against each other, which is kind of a weird premise to me, because everyone, and not only on the Scream of Beyond, are so genuinely awesome, so like really cool, and everyone is making like fantastic content, and I love you guys so much. So I mean, there's honestly nothing but love, respect, and seriously, y'all are so amazing, so I mean, yeah.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
I love y'all.
Love you.
Except for C2A, they can give up having the award this year.
Hey, I will speak on behalf of the Cinefanatics. Can we just get a nomination at least?
Oh man,
you guys are getting nominated.
Fucking nomination.
Yeah.
Underrated.
You guys are you're definitely getting it.
I mean, scratch a nomination. Draft the Cinefanatics.
Draft Cinefanatics.
There's that too.
There you go.
Draft them. Draft them.
Yeah.
Thank you, y'all.
We're all getting sentimental. That's all.
I love everyone here.
I love everyone.
To Alex's point, I mean, and like Shug said, I mean, in January, I was just a fan. I was just someone who's been watching the Schmodown for years. Watching C2A and Cinefanatics reactions, and then to be sitting here is pretty crazy. And to be able to talk to the people I've talked to this year and be a part of this community is wild. And co-host a show with Jill, and I mean, hell, I just got off a show with Alex and Molly Damon, which is insane as well.
That was insane.
It's shocking that in 10 months everything has turned around like this.
I went from being afraid to say hi to Molly and Alex at Spectacular to literally just being on their show. Like it's crazy.
Like it's
like tackling, especially when you see each other in person, where you literally tackle each other with love.
Oh, dude, that's what he does.
Upon seeing them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. I'm so glad we're finally coming together after so long.
And I don't know what Let's Get Ready their situation is, but for POV, except for Brian and I, we've actually never gotten together in person because of it.
None of us have met.
Yeah, we have never. I've met.
I've
Jill.
never met my brother.
I've met Jake. Yeah,
I've met Jill. We met at the awards 2 years ago. Sean and her were actually sitting at the table with my girlfriend and I at the awards, and that's how we met. But we've never met Molly. Brian and I live in the same city, went to college together, and then Brian's never met Jill. So for us, it's very different, just because this COVID situation has brought us together.
We were supposed to go to Celebration together.
Yeah, like when all of it ends, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild.
I once met Paul in Tacoma.
Boxes.
I remember meeting Jill at the after party of like the awards draft.
Oh, was I hammered?
Yeah,
It's spectacular last year.
I don't know.
Was I hammered?
To be able to judge if someone's hammered means you have to know them sober, and then I have no idea.
I was actually pretty solid after the awards. The only time I don't remember, like there was like only like a 30-minute span that I don't remember, and apparently that entire time I was talking to Jeff Snyder. So I mean,
Das Boot.
I actually have better memory than my brother, and I remember meeting you and Sean at Spectacular.
really? I have a horrible memory. I was also sloshed at Spectacular, so
Robert
I don't
is
know,
not
wait,
second guessing his entire life.
I was pretty. I was in line. I was in line with Jake, and I looked at Jake and I go, "Hey, man, nice to finally meet you." He goes, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm Suge." And he's like, "What? You're Suge?" He goes, "I'm kind of drunk right now, but and he gave me a hug.
yeah.
With Yakavetta, and then meeting Paul and talking to Paul and yeah, Spectacular. I saw a lot of you guys. I met Alex going to the bathroom, Alex and Danny, and they go, "Who's that guy?" Which was hilarious. So it's and then like Jake said, me, Justin, Ferris, Bador, who lives halfway across the world. We never met. We just met in a Discord one night, and we've been going on this ride with everybody. So I love this community. It's been awesome, and I love talking about the Schmodown with you guys. I like talking different, just some different subjects. Me and Jake, he's a Raiders fan. I can't stand him, but we talk football, all the time. And I thought, so it's and talking to the Adams.
Your Steelers are going down, Suge. They're going
I
down.
wouldn't expect this much coming from a Burger King man. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Really okay. Respect it.
Suge, you come from a group of people who you've grown in this community mainly by like being in the chat of like, if I remember correctly, of like Collider Live, and then it growing to SCN from there, and that your name just kept coming up in like reactions to the chat, and they're like, yeah, Suge Knight is in the chat saying this, that, and the other, kind of like Saul as well, like someone who just came in as like a person that was in the chat, and there was just a lot of interaction constantly. I love the fact that this community has gone from like something like that to like say doing an after show and or like at a live event, you're like, yeah, I'm Suge, and we're like, oh, Suge.
Are you the Suge?
Yeah.
No,
I got that.
No,
Yeah.
not the Suge, the other Suge.
Yeah, I got that a lot, and like I said, it'll go back to what I was saying with the original reactors with C2A, Take 3, Cinefanatics. I wanted to learn about the Schmodown, and so people told me go watch C2A, and I did, and I would pop in the chat, and I remember saying to myself, one of my big things, and Alex is not here when I say this, was I wanted to learn enough about the Schmodown to get on Schmobates. That was my goal.
Oh, she comes crashing in.
She almost fell into picture.
Yeah,
She heard Schmobates and just crashed into the wall.
but that was my thing, and I watched all the C2A shows. I watched everything because I wanted to learn about the Schmodown, and you guys taught me a lot about the Schmodown. So thank you very much to the Fanatics, C2A, Take 3 Productions, Malcolm, Kristen Smith. I love them to death because I would pop in their chat all the time, hanging out. So yeah, shout out to you guys, and appreciate all you guys.
Well, also one thing I love about this community, as far as the Schmodown too, and Christian and everybody else, it's amazing how much interaction there is between everybody on every level, from like the highest levels, all the competitors get involved, like Christian company, to the fans, all the way down for everything. Everywhere and every level, you can have interaction, and it's not like out of the norm. You know what I mean? Like we can talk. Like Danny was on. She called a match. The Cinefanatics. Robert got to play in a match. I mean, all the stuff like just from every level. It's just such a community that loves each other and gets involved with everything. Drink. We're drinking. Yeah, exactly. We'll drink.
We gotta drink every time my match gets mentioned.
I don't have anything.
All right, I'll drink for you, John.
Thank you.
Let's hear miming.
There you go. It is. That's what makes. I think that's what makes a Schmodown, for example, so unique in a way that it's so engrossing with every aspect of the community.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just getting to interact with you guys, having conversations about our shows individually. Me and Jake, Paul, I've had conversations with Paul, I've had conversations with Jake and Chris, just talking about our shows and getting ideas, getting help, asking advice, and everybody's been so great about offering advice and offering support, and nobody's ever just, been like, oh no, I don't want to help you out. Which is what I love more than anything, because Paul, when I wanted to started doing reactions, I reached out to Paul, said, you need anything, you let me know. Me and Jake were like, hey, we're the new kids on the block, what do you think? And he's like, let's do a stream together. And we did a stream together, and it's just been awesome. And like I said, I love this community more, and I appreciate everything you guys have done. And meeting Jill and obviously Sean, who I love to death, and meeting Lucas, who that's my boo right there. So
It's a little uncomfortable sometimes, just how often he does talk about you on the reg. Like there'd be times where we're like enjoying dinner, and it's like a night we're having a nice date night or something.
Hey, Alex, how much does Lucas talk about me?
And so we are in the middle of dinner.
That's about right. That's about right.
And I made us like a nice steak dinner, or I try to be fancy, so maybe I'll make a grilled cheese with mayo.
Yes, grilled cheese.
And
takes 3 busies to be fancy.
and then suddenly he'd be like, you know what? Who would really love a steak? Not Shug. But, he's such a guy that he doesn't know like a good burger, let alone a good steak when he sees one. So
yeah, very true.
Very true. We can still reminisce and think about him as we enjoy the steak.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Well, I mean, that community, like I said, like that very channel we're on shows what the community is about, because we had our little 30+ hour stream a couple weeks ago, and we made $20,000 for Kevin Smets. I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, how that we all came together and just made that happen. It just shows me how much good there is in this community. So
Smets was, I said it during the stream, Smets was the first competitor who messaged us, and we've had quite a few conversations with him since. Awesome person. I can't think of too many people more deserving of what we did for him. And I absolutely love. I'm losing my voice. It's been a long day answering customers' questions. So,
oh wait, he's losing his voice. He's losing his voice. He had a match. Drink.
Speaking of,
get some liquid in your throat.
And streamlabs.com/Smash-A-Thon. We have another one from Michael K, who was a big donator of that night. I'll tell you that much, Michael K. We love Michael K. On the eve of Spectacular 5, what has been your favorite of the previous Schmodown Spectaculars?
Last year, because I was there in person.
Me too. It was my first Spectacular.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy answer, honestly.
The fan expo of last year.
Yeah, the fan expo was huge. But for me, I was lucky enough to sit on the aisle of the entranceway. And so I got to see everybody as they walked onto the stage, which was really cool as a fan. So yeah, it's easy. It's last year.
Yeah, I think last year too. One of my favorite parts about last year, I kind of got a little edited out, was the R&B versus the Action Army yelling at each other a lot.
Oh yeah.
After Andrew Guy came back and his little video thing, I got edited out, and Christian said he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Loud as in there.
Good moment.
Yeah, we're a tad obnoxious. We already are a little obnoxious. But
we're obnoxious?
No.
It was out of love, though.
The other thing I will mention of last year was the Roca appearance. He was just getting over, I think it was bronchitis, I believe.
Yeah, bronchitis, yeah.
And not even the people who were backstage, in the green.
No one knew. Yeah.
No one knew he was going to pop up.
Yeah.
He literally showed up minutes before he walked out of that. If y'all were familiar with the venue, he walked up out of that little ditch thing, right? You want to call it, but whatever. The ramp up into the auditorium, that was minutes within him arriving at the venue, and that was fantastic. And then the way he played with Dan Murrell.
Definitely.
However, it technically was like in an interesting situation as far as award seasons goes, because it was nominated for Best Entrance of the Year. However, some are argued that it wasn't technically like an actual entrance. Like
it was single versus team. I think that was the issue, wasn't it? Like it was like
because he was sick, therefore that made it a good entrance.
Yeah.
Is that
It was more of an arrival than an entrance, but I mean,
he was nominated for it versus like someone like Bibbs that actively like he does costumes and effects.
I mean, we're forgetting about Alba though. Alba pissed himself.
That was a great.
I think that's the best entrance.
That was so
the
good.
fact that you pissed yourself, you should win automatically. So I give it to Alba over Bibbs.
Wait, that was a planned entrance? I thought that just happened.
On a Saturday.
To this day, we don't know for sure.
Yeah. I think for me last year,
Alba and ask him.
Yeah, I think last year for me, what I loved about Spectacular was I had just became a fan and watching Kevin Smith's versus Mike Kalinowski, and where he says, don't tell Peter. Yeah. And I watched Eric's promo.
I still can't watch that match. We were in studio for that.
Oh, it's so devastating. But I watched that promo. I watched that promo probably like 30 times leading up to Spectacular, and to then see Kevin Smith just beat the living crap out of KO, and the way he did it, and then the fact that he tried to go heel when he won the belt, and nobody was letting him go heel.
We're like, no,
you're not going heel.
Oh,
that was amazing.
He was speaking like that moment after that, like the party filmed where Kevin Smith was outside with Ben Bateman. And,
so good.
The Action Army with everything else that they got involved, because even though he wasn't like in the. He was in the Action Army, but he wasn't in the Action Army as far as storylines go. But it was a great moment for the community. Everybody was loving it. It was so, just so great seeing. I mean, even though I hate Team Trader, seeing Bateman win a belt was actually pretty cool too at the point, because I know how hard he worked for that as well.
Yeah.
I'll never say that in C2A. I can only say that on here because we're, I'm Team Guy all the way. But
here's another moment from last year that I would love to point out. Paul, if you could highlight Sari's last comment.
Yes.
On that.
Yes. I still have the
amazing.
Hold on a second. I still have
for those of y'all not familiar, Dollface, she was
there it is.
Yes, there you go.
Here, I still have it. It's just right here.
Put it up now.
Oh, hello. Sorry. Wait, I need to so I can hear people. Yeah, no, I still have it on my dresser from that night.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I still have it.
She was a fan league competitor, and she had recently passed away. Like 2 weeks before? Like
I think less than that.
Yeah,
I think only a couple of days before. Yeah.
And that I don't know who was in charge of making those buttons, but they cranked those out.
Was it? It wasn't Janine, was it?
It was actually someone in our group. I can't remember who it was.
I don't remember.
I know we had them. I don't remember who in our group. Did it just Jake? Is it Yakavetta? I'm not sure.
But I remember it was the fans. The fans were the ones that had the buttons.
There was no one in that arena that did not have a button.
Pretty much, yeah. And I remember me and my brother were inside before they let the fans come in, and all I heard were all I heard were all the competitors going, "Hey, where do we get that Dollface button?" Mm-hmm. And I kept having to run outside like, "Hey, we need a couple more." Bibbs wants one. Brendan wants one. Was it Rachel Cushing wants one? Like I kept having to find them for all the competitors. That was amazing that they put together to pay homage to her. That was fantastic. And
then Christian giving a little bit of time. Christian giving a little bit of time at the actual Spectacular, saying, like, we're going to, as a whole audience, we're going to give a moment of silence for her. Yeah, that was really cool. That was so cool.
Part of the promo for it. Like Nerd Chronic put her into the promo. That was just fantastic.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like everybody who dedicated their matches to her that night won their matches.
Yeah. I mean, working with her in action industry, she was someone who was such in love with the Schmodown, such in love with the community in general. It was just, it was a tragedy, but it's also a way to show how much we loved her back. So,
yeah,
very touching. We do have another Streamlab I want to throw in there before I lose it. Errol Owl Rachel donated and said, "Group hug to all the Aftershow community. # Smash Cancer."
Best mod ever.
Love you, Rachel.
Very nice. Well, now you think we should actually start talking tomorrow?
Probably.
Yeah, let's come back. Let's come back on
Let's
tomorrow.
just wait another hour. Hey, let's talk about last night's Mandalorian for like the next.
Oh,
hour, and then
I just did it for 4 hours.
I
I don't know.
Hey, you could probably still keep going, right? I mean,
Probably.
Any of season 2?
Oh, Alex!
Alex, what are you
Well,
doing?
just wait a week.
Just
wait a week.
With everything with the movie and everything, I just haven't had I'm like one of those people where I'm like I just don't want to watch it on my laptop. I haven't really had access to a TV, and so now we just got an our TV like a handful of days ago. But I mean, like it's just like everything's been spoiled for me, but I don't really know enough about Star Wars, the lore, or anything to really know what any of the spoilers really mean. Like,
Just wait till next week.
Yeah, like Chris is saying, wait till next week. You can binge it. You can binge it.
Just wait till next week. Binge it up, leading up to the new episode when it goes up.
So yeah, I was just kidding about the Mando talk. Let's talk about all the announcements Disney made yesterday.
Oh,
Oh no, not really. Okay,
Hey man, let's talk about Awaju. I'm okay with that. I love me some Awaju.
If we were to talk about that, we would have to divide it into categories like MCU, MCU TV, directors, Star Wars director announcements.
I do like that Rachel is like a fan of us as well, and she's already got this down pat that this is how this goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's time this year at all? I mean,
We do long ass streams.
So Tiana, she's getting a series.
Oh my god, no, I don't want to talk about Disney.
We weren't serious, Ferris.
No.
Let's talk about this thing.
Let's talk about this thing. We won't talk about Gilmore and Janice. Don't need to talk about them.
They don't need any more
out of
limelight.
Gilmore and Janice, who do you think's got that one?
Janice.
It's probably gonna be Janice.
I gotta go Gilmore. I work with Gilmore. I have to.
Hashtag the boat, baby.
Hashtag wind chill.
The
Hashtag
boat.
wind
Frank the
chill.
Slug,
It's
as
all
you call
about
him, coming up
Janice.
Oh, you absolutely go with the numbers. You go with the numbers.
Actually, Gilmore's been on one of our videos, and Frank hasn't yet.
I have to go with Gilmore because he was in our season opener reaction on our channel this year. So,
and that's solely because he called out all the after shows. Because he called out all the after shows last
it's
year.
also because we're like 3 hours away from Houston, so it was like really quick to just drive over to Houston for a day.
Yeah.
Can I say it was kind of funny when he called it all the after shows, and like some people actually got a little upset about it. It was a little bit. It was actually a little.
It's effing Brad Gilmore. Just like God.
Brad, we had him on chill to
Brad Gilmore.
When it comes to Brad, I love Brad, but there's this video of him and I like looking at each other and shaking hands hesitantly, and it's like somewhere on there. But his skin, as an esthetician, I can tell you, his skin is
oh my god,
that's kind of weird.
Gorgeous, like it's glass.
Y'all need to do him a Christmas favor and go pick up his book if you don't have it yet.
Alex, it's the Tex-Mex.
I have it in Kindle, so we're.
I promise it's the Tex-Mex.
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. It's fucking Brad Gilmore.
Frank the Slug.
There's a little more sass there.
I hope we can curse on here. Y'all. Okay, cool.
You can't fucking curse on here.
How fucking
it's
dare
not
you?
on the Cinefanatics channel.
It's not on Cinefanatics channel, so actually Robert can curse. It's actually kind of funny.
Oh,
what the shit? What?
Yeah.
What the shit?
Okay. Let's get into that. You know what? Let's get into the rest of there. The first match going to be the Alex Damon versus Ace Cabrera.
The first match we have to talk about.
It's Star Wars. We're just talking about Star Wars. We're going to go talk about
It's already hard out of the gate.
Nothing is
Can I take down a little more of this before we get into that?
Easy.
Alex Damon is gonna wipe the floor with Ace Cabrera.
This is so easy. This is so easy.
The Damon
point of view. Okay, the point of view is definitely obviously a little biased. I think a little biased.
Never.
No.
You know what? I don't appreciate you calling point of views thing into question, Paul, because I agree with them.
Well, first off, Paul,
you actually.
First off, Paul, we all know
So
Ferris.
shut it.
All know Ferris is first coastal friends with
Don't-
Alex
they're
Damon
talking
and
about
Molly
my
Damon.
Close personal friends.
I don't
Yes,
like to. I don't like to
personal
brag
friend.
about it. I don't like to brag about it, but yeah,
They have brunch every Sunday. Remember
Oh,
that.
brunch. I miss brunch.
Well, I mean,
Who's
I'm a
gonna
little
win?
biased too. I'm a little biased too because Alex Damon's apparently my twin brother.
You're a little paler, but yeah, I think that's better.
I don't.
Well, that's the lighting right now.
I don't see it.
All right, let me ask
No,
this.
Ferris.
For Damon, is there anybody here that's picking ace?
We have an ace. I mean, the chat. We got people in the chat.
Do we have an ace in the hole?
Yeah. I don't think I could pick ace because I was thinking about it yesterday. I think had they played this match a couple weeks after he won the tournament, I might have taken ace. But I think he's lost a lot of the momentum that he had going into this match.
Agree. Completely.
And so it's going to be tough. And I know because talking to him and seeing him do some shows, he kind of said that he was going to take some time off and then get back ramping into studying. I think the time off hurt him. So it's hard for me not, to take him.
Danny messaged me, by the way. Danny's actually teammates also.
Yes.
How long has it been since Alex's last match?
Last
year.
Spectacular.
Yeah, for last year. So
Yeah.
much further than Ace is.
But
Alex
Star Wars
does a Star Wars. Yeah, he does a Star Wars channel. On
Well, no, but
he
he did play in Dragon Con. Like, so he
he
still
did play a Dragon
he was
Con.
still doing Star Wars trivia,
And he still kept up in Inner Geekdom.
but
Dragon Con, that 12-year-old.
Hi, Janice.
yeah.
That kid's a gangster. That 12-year-old.
Frank's in the chat.
Oh, thank God Frank wasn't here 10 minutes ago.
Thank you, Frank.
We love you, Frank. I was Team Frank.
I thought Frank was doing a watch along on our channel. What's going on here? Is he two places at once?
I'm just happy he said I have a beautiful face. I mean, let's be honest.
Anyway,
Perfection.
Okay, so most of us think Alex Damon. It is kind of an important first match because if Ace does not win, then Corruption wins the whole thing. If my math is all correct, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Think
Yeah.
so? Math. I
Nice.
can't math.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's something that's decided on the first match. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
From what I understand, they have to win. Swag has to win all their matches, and one of them has to be by TKO. Correct?
I believe
think so.
that's what it was, yes.
Which
Yeah,
with
which-
last spectacular,
yes.
like we can say it now. Oh, a TKO is never going to happen. But y'all remember last spectacular where everything was
except
a
the Star
KO
Wars.
or everything except Star Wars was a KO or a TKO.
Yeah.
So like,
It was amazing though, just because otherwise it would have been like a 12-hour
oh my
spectacular.
god, I would have died.
Being at the end was great and all, but there was no food. Again, no food.
There was
And
pizza.
Pizza. No, it's spectacular.
in between each match, and so
Yeah.
At spectacular there was pizza, and then Kaiser brought burgers. Kaiser just brought a shit
Yeah, he
ton
brought
of McDonald's
McDonald's.
cheeseburgers.
Funny.
people. So you can find like a bun randomly on the ground, and there was like 10 pizzas total, and you can buy a slice for like $10.
Welcome to LA.
Hold out in like 2 minutes because people would buy food pies.
Kaiser brought McDonald's.
Kaiser literally brought 50. I was sitting at the dungeon booth, and then Kaiser walks in with like a freaking. He's like the Hamburglar. He had a freaking sack over his shoulder. He was like, "I got cheeseburgers," and like
At the beginning of the fan expo, he ran off to McDonald's and bought like a whole bag of just
all
regular
of the
hamburgers.
cheeseburgers. He bought every cheeseburger. It was insane.
I can't let my fam do that again, bro. We got to get some more high end shit. McDonald's,
We need some in and out. We need some in and out in this bitch.
Keep in mind that this was Kaiser who bought all this, and he bought like hundreds of them to stack on the dungeons table at the fan expo.
It was literally at least 75 cheeseburgers. Like,
Yeah, it was
not even
a massive
exaggeration.
amount of burgers.
It was a
So
lot.
he had to go cheap on that just because.
If it was a Shake Shack burger, I might have like dove into it, but it wasn't a Shake Shack.
Nah, man, it's in and out, double.
In and out is horrible.
Shug.
Hate it.
Sacrilege.
Shug.
Hate it.
Wow.
Lived in Cali all my life. Hate it.
I do think In and Out is.
you.
I do think it's overrated. I do think.
Everyone does know where me and my brother live at, right? I mean, we don't have to actually mention.
We're not talking about
Whataburger?
Texas right now.
No more Whataburger talking here.
Here it is, a Flying Dutchman with some animal style fries and a milkshake.
Ferris?
You know it, dog. You know it all day. Jake, you feel me, dog? You feel me, right?
I'm getting sick listening to this.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's 'cause you have no refinement.
I physically feel nauseated right now.
The people who grew up in LA will never rep the animal style fries.
Animal style fries.
Crazy AF. It's disgusting.
With the extra sauce. With
love
the
Five
extra
Guys.
sauce.
In there with
Jake,
the
with the extra
pizzazz,
sauce.
you're effed.
I love Five
Yes.
Guys. It's good.
With the extra sauce.
I remember one of our first interactions with Mark Ellis when he came to Austin for South by Southwest. He was telling us, he's like, yeah, In-N-Out's burgers or their fries suck. He's
They're
like,
not-
love the
they're
burgers, but
potatoes.
their fries
They're
are
not good.
terrible.
Potatoes.
All right, I have a question now here. Talk about this match. Going back to this match. And this is a little bit for the awards later on.
Mhm.
If Alex Damon wins, who's Star Wars Player of the Year?
Are you kidding?
I got in trouble on this for Twitter when
I've heard from both. I've heard both sides. I'm curious what your arguments are.
I'm saying it's still Ace.
I would, and here's my reasoning for it. I would still say Ace because Alex would want it to be Ace.
Irrelevant. Erroneous.
Is that not me? Okay.
Alex-
it's hard. I mean, because if it goes that way, it's like if Alex
Ace-
wins, then he has defended the belt how many times? 5?
The argument behind
Four?
his player
Four.
obviously, so his defending the belt for 5 times doesn't actually come into play theoretically. At the same time, it's not necessarily his fault that he's only defended the belt once this year. He played the played the match that was given to him. He defended it, and he's still champion at the end of the year. And he beat. If he wins, he beat the other guy.
I don't think having a belt naturally means that you get an award at the end. I
don't think so either.
What you did during that time is what earns it to you. And for Ace coming in as a play-in match and then running the gamut through the entire tournament, I think you got to give it to Ace there.
Yeah, and I would even say it's even the names that he ran through too. Ken Knapsack, Lord Kelly, Andrew DiMolanta. Even if he lost to Alex, those 3 names are names that have
They're number 1
competed
contenders.
They've competed against Alex and done great matches up against Alex for the last couple of years. And I do think that a tournament format has a really big impact on that kind of award because, and we also have to keep in mind, I said this on our channel, but that is the only tournament that was actually live.
Yeah,
it was the only tournament that was live. So there weren't
tournament of the year.
There weren't like these breaks for matches. Once you won, you were waiting for your next opponent, then you played. And then you
week
played,
later.
and you played. Yeah, and so that's a big deal. The fact that it was live, he played 4 matches in the matter of like 6 weeks or something. Like that's big.
No, it absolutely is. And I actually haven't made my decision yet either way, to be honest. That's why I threw it out there because I completely understand that argument and I think it's a very valid argument. I also then just keep coming back to the fact that how can I penalize Alex Damon for not playing because he's the champion and especially because he's beating the guy. I mean, Ace went through everybody and then loses to Alex Damon.
If it's a KO or a TKO.
Never done what Ace has done. Ever.
But he didn't make it all the way, but doesn't make it all the way. Doesn't seal the deal. Finish the deal.
Where Ace has never done what Alex has done, but Alex's career, it's accumulated over multiple seasons. This is Ace's first season in the Star Wars division, and we gotta hand it to him. And like, not only did he take it, but he was the undercard going in for every single.
He was the play-in.
He was the play-in match. No one expected him to, not only win his first match, but also actually win the tournament. The odds were 100-4.
Well, let me ask you a question, PLD, and I'll ask the panel. How many actual matches would Alex have gotten this year?
Star Wars
matches would he have had
Star Wars matches. Star Wars
probably
matches.
had
I think
2 or 3.
At least two. At least two.
Okay. So you're saying that he's defending the belt 1 time. He would have still only got 1 more match. Ace ran, like Jake said, through 4 matches. First off, he played a perfect game.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think, has Alex Damon done that? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not saying it like a smart ass, but
last spectacular he did.
Okay. Well, no. But I'm talking about Ace played a perfect game. He answered to the 5-point question. Alex didn't have to do that. He ran through, like Jake said, he ran through some amazing people. And I think you got to give it to the even though I think Alex is most deserving, should get a nomination. I think you have to give it to the person that has had the most wins this year.
I don't necessarily. Like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with it, but then you say Alex is the one who beat the guy. Alex beat your player of the year. Then,
yeah.
I mean,
I get it.
Also,
it's a tough one for me to vote on. Luckily, I still have time to think about it.
Has Alex ever not won that award?
Well, it used to be Star Wars.
It used to be Star Wars IG.
Been nominated for that category where it also includes Star Wars and IG, where there is still like one category.
I'm sure he was. I think he was probably nominated every chance he could get, I would assume.
Exactly. So he was nominated every single time then.
But he's never won, I don't think.
No, Alex won last year.
Did he win the Star Wars American Player?
Yeah, it's Molly has it behind her. She has the award.
Okay. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, get yourself together, Paul. Come on.
Jeez, Paul, learn your award thing.
I will say this.
Drinking your Jameson.
I think for sure though that Alex does win this match, but I think this is going to be the closest we've seen in a long time to somebody being able to actually take the belt away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. So that's well. I mean, we're in for a fun match either way. I think no matter what's going to happen, we're going to have a good match, and that's the thing I'm looking forward to. So, anyone else?
Real quick, I will vouch for Paul. He only gets better with that Jameson bottle. I'm just saying.
I need more. I need to fuel up more. You know. All right. Let's get into the next match then. Right. Jericho and Young. This was tough.
I have Young. This one's not even a tough one for me.
You have Young that well, that quickly.
Yeah, Jericho did surprise me in his debut match. He really did. But I think this one is going to be more kind of in depth with the trivia and not so much just like, look, we have Jericho and Kevin Smith. Like it's going to be more actual, like maybe more difficult trivia. And I think Young has that edge over him. I also think she kind of knows the game a little bit more than he does. But I could be completely surprised. But I've no question for me. I've always picked Young.
I think that's. I don't think that's incorrect because I know that Brittany Young has been around the block a few times in the Schmodown, having made the debut in that Glow exhibition match, and then having her actual like full on debut earlier this season. That was against Jader, right?
Yes, that was in studio.
Yep. So I mean,
and
she put up a good fight.
I think it was last minute too.
Wasn't that Jader's debut also?
It was also Jader's debut.
Yeah.
So his first debut match was going up against someone like of established credibility from a TV show. That's fantastic.
I think this is one of the matches that
what is that?
Different in
that doesn't mean jack squat though.
Versus what it would be in live event. I think like in live event, Jericho would be more intimidating just as he's so charismatic and so like with the crowd and so energetic. That might be a little much. Champion, exactly. But on stream, I think that gets neutralized a little bit. So it's tough to say. Chris Jericho did a lot better than I thought he was going to do against Smith.
Yeah.
He performed pretty well, and there's no Brittany Young slice on the wheel. I don't think so.
He did fantastic, especially the fact they gave him the Kevin Smith slice. That was great. Fantastic on Kevin and Coy. I reference Kevin like we're a part of this community now, and I can just revert to him as Kevin instead of Kevin Smith, the director. That's weird. Welcome to the Schmodown community, y'all.
Is anybody else really excited for this promo because Brittany plays a wrestler on television
and Jericho is a wrestler?
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Oh, yeah,
it's gonna be good.
I just want to see Jericho come back and cut promos on like all of our top guys. Like I want to see Brittany
Jericho knows how to cut
promo. Cut it on like Kalinowski. The people who do promos, I'd love to see the war of words between them. So
yeah.
That would be great.
Don't need an actual match. Just give me a promo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I'm coming up next. I picked Jericho. I could be swayed still. I think either way. I do understand the Young has knowledge. What was that first?
I don't really I don't care about this match.
You don't care about this match? Oh,
Not really. Not really. If she wins, awesome. He wins, cool. That's the way I'm thinking it is.
I love the fact that it's two.
Ferris, have an opinion about something.
There's my opinion. I don't care about this match. That's my opinion.
It is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Shug,
Say
do
what
you
I
care?
said.
What's that?
Do you care?
I know I care. Unlike Ferris, I actually care. Ferris tends to try to be the cool kid and doesn't want to talk about things. I think Brittany Young. I'm picking Brittany Young for this match just simply because I think it's going to be a fun match, entertaining match, and I'm here for it. But I think she does have a little bit more base of movie trivia. But you never know. Chris Jericho did surprise us, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But it's going to be a fun match to watch.
Definitely.
He is the Ayatollah of rock and roller.
I'm just looking for entertainment in this match, definitively. Like just some good talk, some good match talk, and everything else. Chris Jericho ripping up and Brittany being good. So either way, I don't really care when. I really don't care who wins. I just want to see a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of like faction standings too, this is like, I mean, I know like neither the Rockstars nor the Dungeon are going to be at the top here, but this could be like Kaiser still trying to spoil stuff for Roxy a little bit too, right?
Mathematically, they still can. I think tie.
They can get second.
They can get
They
second.
can knock out Gucci down,
Yeah,
a
they
notch.
can
And
get
that would
second.
make Roxy very happy to knock Gucci
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
Because if Winston loses all his matches, and Roxy wins all her matches, it vaults her up to second place, I think.
Yeah. So you never know. You never know.
Makes sense.
Anybody have any last statements about that match at all? Or should we
Happy
move on?
birthday, Jillian.
Oh, thank you.
That's right, Jillian. Happy birthday.
Hey.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Birthday. Well, it's next Thursday.
It's next Thursday.
It's
Happy
me and
birthday.
PLD. We're birthday twins.
That's true.
But yeah, I
care about-
know Sagittarius. I do. Unfortunately, I do have to hop off though because Sean does have my birthday gift, and he's like, I don't know where to put it. He's like, I don't know where to put it, so you need to open it now because it's.
I'm so excited.
It's on the couch, just like with a blanket. So I'm gonna go eat. I have been nonstop since 8 a.m. this morning. I literally came home from work, did a show, and then here. So I'm hungry, and I need to go do things.
Okay, you're gonna record it.
Is your birthday gift potentially going to be a episode of Box?
No.
Dang it.
We do. They are doing a cool box for this month, though. So stay tuned for that. It will be a fun box episode.
By the way, those of y'all that aren't watching Box, everybody's watching Box.
Y'all need to watch Box.
Watch the box.
Watch the box. But I love you guys. Thank you for having me. I think Brian's going to tag in a bit for POV. So love you guys so much. I'm so sad this isn't live, so I can't hug and squeeze all your faces, but I am virtually hugging and squeezing all of your faces. Okay. Love you guys.
Bye, Jillian.
Much love.
Bye, Jill.
All right, everybody attack Jake because he's the only one there. It's a 2-on-1. So now everybody gets Jake.
Bring it.
Man,
Let's go.
I'm a big fan of Jake Berlin. I will not be.
Actually, I am too.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Ferris and I's relationship has really grown. It has really grown over the last couple
Really
months.
toxic in the beginning.
Ferris's relationship with anyone has really grown. Let's just be honest. Ferris's relationship with this camera has grown.
That's
I
true.
remember everything when Ferris goes on stream and he's playing Madden, so he's like this.
And then he randomly yells. He's like, "God damn it!" You're like, "What happened?" I got intercepted again. Okay.
Ferris, don't.
I mean, I gotta do 3 shows with this guy. Okay, I deal with it all the time. I love him to death, but the guy drives me crazy. Okay.
Wait, 3 shows? Do we have a show?
Yeah. By the way, there's another show you're about to be on.
Oh. I didn't know.
Surprise! Right. Next match, let's get in there. Shazam versus the Odd Couple. This is going to be an exciting match, I think. A very, very exciting match.
Okay, do you want my real pick or like my heart pick?
Both.
Because I want Jeff Snyder to win. I want Jeff to win. Because I was a massive fan of the Patriots. Still am. Still the greatest team of all time. Yeah, I said it. Him and JTE. You know, so like my favorite moment is Spectacular 2 when no one could remember the Titans. You know, no offense.
No one ever remembers the Titans.
No offense, Sam Levine. Please don't attack me. Because he'll do it. So like seeing Jeff without a belt always like it poked at me. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I need Jeff with a team's belt.
I gotta say, I'll throw mine out there. I think Odd Couple's going to win, and the reason why is a lot of times in sports. And
Tim, they didn't go eight defenses. Tim, I
will say that like a lot of times you'll find
because of the Patriots, they had to change the way they played teams matches because they took Gucci's soul and they whooped Makuga's ass so far and so hard that he had to think of a new career.
You know, we allow Ferris to be on the stream. I'm just saying.
Shut up, Robert.
Anyway,
the way they played.
I was saying that Odd Couple versus Shazam. I think you got to vote for Odd Couple because sometimes storylines seem to work out in like in sports and in wrestling. You look for a storyline that has to go. And Jeff Snyder has been such like a destiny train this year. He's made such an appearance. He's everybody's lips now is for being on like Mount Schmodown or whatever it is. This is his year. It seems like his destiny this year. So I think it ends with him getting a belt. I think Shazam's going to put up a hell of a fight, but this is going to be, and this is not forgetting Mark and Draco, but this is all for me resting on Jeff Snyder's shoulders. He's making his mark and can become
and Paul,
the champion.
Like who like no one defends the team's belt more than twice. So either they lose it in their first time around or they lose it in their third time around. No one's gone past 2 defenses except the Patriots.
For me, this match, I think when Jeff Snyder lost to Irwin, it really hit him hard. And he went through that singles tournament really trying to get there, to get to the belt. And he played excellent. Now you look at him and Andraco in this team's tournament. Their last 2 matches, 96%, 97% accuracy. You can't beat that. I don't give a damn how good you are. And Deception, played a great game and couldn't beat them. So they're playing on a different level right now of just knowledge base. They're just kicking butt. And so I think that I would like to see Schneider win the belt, to be honest with you. I think Shazam though is a formidable opponent. When Meyer gets hot, when Bibbs gets hot, they are trained and they can run through you. So, but I think right now when you're looking at these guys having 96, 97% accuracy, it is hard to really take a look and be like, who's going to beat them? Because some of these other teams have had great games and they're just, the Odd Couple is just killing it. 97, 96%. Remember those numbers because those you miss one question or it's very amazing. And shout out to Megs and shout out to our statistician Colin Martinez because he gives us those stats.
Yes, Megs is a great statistician. Well, definitely.
Megs is wonderful, amazing human. That Megs.
Megs is awesome.
I do kind of want to point out that everyone involved in this match in particular is obviously incredibly deserving of this award. There's no one competitor more than the other that deserves it more or anything because both Snyder and Bibiani have a very interesting, very unique relationship with Schmodown, not only in singles but also as teams. Bibiani has been called a fluke, by many a Schmodown fan, unfortunately so, because it's a horrible way to talk about Bibiani. But they've kind of mentioned that he doesn't really succeed in any other situation outside of like a free-for-all kind of environment, which is very obviously not true because they like he's such a great competitor, but as yet he has yet to get a belt in either singles or teams, which he competes in. But he does get a belt with an asterisk on it, which is the free-for-all belt. So it's kind of and some people have been like, well, that doesn't really count. It does, but it doesn't, so it's kind of a weird situation.
This is an interesting one for me because I can be quoted as saying that Shazam was going to get belts at some point. As soon as they made their debut match, I was like, this is a team that's going to have belts at some point for sure. But I'm in a situation right now where I'm looking at this and I'm saying this is probably the closest toss-up match. It could literally be either one of these 2 teams of any of these matches in Spectacular. This is going to be the closest one, I think, that it could be either one. I might give the slight edge to Odd Couple this time, just because they've got the momentum in the moment, coming fresh off the tournament. But outside of that, man, I don't know. This is a hard pick.
I have Shazam. They're my favorite team. And as much as I love what the Odd Couple has been doing, I think Jeff Snyder's playing the best trivia he's ever played. I think Marco and Draco is a very deadly partner for him, and they're playing great. I just feel like Shazam has a slight upper hand right now, and I know that time plays a factor in this, but what I saw from the Odd Couple in that recent match in the speed round specifically does make me a little nervous. If they can clean that up, then yes, they have a great chance, but I would give the slight edge to Shazam right now.
So, one thing that COVID took away with us real quick, COVID takes away the Brendan Meyer making sweet, sweet love to that buzzer.
Absolutely. But without
spectacular last year.
Without COVID, we wouldn't have had Brendan Meyer making that sweet, sweet love to that microphone. Like
wrong. So wrong.
We're hopping around in that room.
Here's the thing I want to point out, and this is what I want people to understand from an after show reactor thing, especially if your after show, your reactor show, you get to the point where you actually have interactions with these competitors on a pretty regular basis, I would say. I love Bibiani. Like, Bibiani is my spirit animal, I would say. Easily. I love horror movies, so Bibiani speaks to me on a very deep personal level. But at the same time, Snyder has been fantastic at making the after show reactor go rounds lately. Specifically lately, he's put himself out there. He's like, hey, do you run an after show? I want on. You could almost just start an after show this second and you'll get Jeff Snyder on it. Like, he is all about the fans, the fan thoughts, the fans' opinions on it. This is what makes it hard for us as reactors and after shows to be able to formulate an opinion, because we're like, I love the fact that I connect with this person. Yeah, by the way, streamlabs.com/Smash-A-Thon. Make sure you put those donations in. It grabs at you as like someone who's like personally connected to this. But at the same time, you're like, I'm an after show reactor. And like, if I can get Jeff Snyder on, I'm putting Jeff Snyder on. Absolutely. That guy is amazing. You're kind of in a balance where it's hard to formulate that opinion. And that's being said, going into this, I feel like I might have to back the Odd Couple in it.
Very nice. Oh, we do have a Streamlab I want to throw out there from JJ Winward, Action Army. Says, what's up, y'all? What singles/teams wheel slice would you hope to get for opponent's choice? A slice people would be surprised you do well in. If that makes sense.
Why reveal that?
Two of us will not be revealing this answer.
What was the question?
Basically, if what category would you like to get that would surprise an opponent's choice, and someone threw something at you and you didn't
Don't answer that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, there's only two of us on the screen that are not going to answer that question.
Scores and soundtracks for me. Scores and soundtracks.
Nice.
The Fast and the Furious.
Oh yeah, that's very surprising.
Right there.
Very surprising. I'll be honest,
Ed Harris.
If they get to 11 or 12 movies, I mean, that could be a slice.
PJ, I've already written Ed Harris.
The next one is going to be their last one. That everyone has like mentioned specifically that they're totally done. Or if they are going to continue, it's going to be more like a reboot
of the spin-offs. Yeah.
Not going to be like
So,
count in that franchise, or
no, we don't count that schlubby movie.
It's the original. So you
sometimes the remix is better than the original, Paul.
I will publicly say that I have increased my strength and Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that know that reference,
That counts.
yeah, that counts. Go ahead and drink on that. Yeah, that's good. But
Adam Sandler.
I will also reveal there are weaknesses.
Nice try.
Oh,
Nice try.
TC Legend and Adam Sandler. I'm good at.
Nice.
But if you only ask me about like the Mission Impossible, Top Gun, yeah, that's it.
The action, Tom Cruise.
Don't ask me about Vanilla Sky, please don't.
Oh God, no! I fell asleep like in the theater within the first 10 minutes of that movie.
Show me the money.
Okay, in my defense, though, I was in the military at the time and I was really tired. So,
That's from
right.
Jerry
Anybody else
Maguire.
have anything to say about this match, or should we move on to the next one?
No, I'm good. We can move on.
Is that a grilled
Right.
cheese, Alex?
I am so jealous. I am so jealous, Alex, because I have
is it,
grilled
is it
cheese
made with
now?
mayonnaise?
It's made with mayonnaise, so we don't need it.
No, we actually don't have mayonnaise in the house right now.
Oh, so we could eat it then. Okay.
She used it all already on other
Oh
grilled
wait,
cheese.
wait. I'm gonna check out the cheese situation on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Check out
Oh,
the
give us the
cheese.
cheese pull. Give us the cheese pull. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
God.
that's a good cheese pull.
Oh,
That's
I
a
am so,
great
je- I
cheese
am
pull
so
right
jealous
there.
right now because
That's
I
like
have
burns me. I gotta admit.
Time out.
Dude.
I
That was
will
satisfying.
tell you that's a binging with Babish
What
worthy
cheese?
cheese pull.
What cheese?
I'm gonna mute myself as
Okay,
I
cheese
mark
is that?
this.
Come on.
Oh,
Okay,
I
cheese.
think you would. That's
Is that
an
American?
organic cheese right there.
Is that
We'll find
American?
out later on. All right. Let's move
Okay,
on.
I'll have what she's having.
Introduce some title match: Chandru versus Chance. Now, I want Chance to punch Chandru in the teeth and knock his teeth out. That's what I want to have happen.
The shit talking on Twitter about this has been glorious.
Yes.
So PLD, I think I'm with you. As much as I want Chance to destroy this, I feel like Chandru might win.
I do too.
Here it is. Paul. Theory.
Go ahead.
This is what I don't
How
think's gonna
how is there a theory about a trivia match?
There's storylines. Come on.
happen. Here it is.
Just go with me on this.
Yeah, just go with me on this. Chandru beats Chance, right? Holds the belt, and then out of nowhere, Kevin Smets walks in. It was like, "Hey, you have something of mine. I want it back. See you at high noon." That would be twice as better than Chance beating Chandru, wouldn't it be?
What?
Alex.
I would love to see. I know Spence obviously isn't performing next year, but
I know.
But
So,
it would be kind of
like,
cool. doing
have
something next year.
Chandru like hold the belt until Kevin's like, no, not like throw all the matches. Like I want Chandru like to beat everybody, and then
Right.
some guys like, hey, you have something in mind.
I would love to see.
Yeah, the only reason really
Must
why
take it
I
for
would
the
want
future.
Chandru to win is so Kevin can come back and take it from him. That's really the only reason why I'd want him to win.
I think the issue, honestly, though, right now is that Chandru beat Kevin Smets and has had nothing to do since then except dance and
Yes.
watching their Geekdom movies.
Yes.
Chance did have the team attorney to deal with other things.
No,
I think he
guys,
was
I'm
a bit
talking
distracted.
There's something I do want to kind of bring up that hasn't really been touched yet. Okay, so Chandra, what I think he's really good and comfortable with is fighting. And when I say fighting, I mean challenging. And I feel that's actually a very hard skill to really acquire and actually develop very adequately in Schmodown, because it's not something you can adequately train for except through matches. So thing is, he is like ready to go. He knows exactly when to challenge. He has the confidence of his manager to be like, hey, I know exactly how I want to word it. And let's face it, when it comes to issuing a challenge, 95% of the time is knowing the exact verbiage to use in order to adequately get your point across where the point goes in your favor. Because let's face it, I mean, there have been challenges in the past where you know what you're talking about, but you're having a hard time trying to get it out, and it comes out a certain way where it ends up being not in your favor, but it's because of the way you talked about it. And that happens way too often. And that's, again,
honestly, man,
I'm very confident in Chandra because that's something he is very great with doing.
I agree with that, Alex. I agree with that. But the issue is the IG belt is cursed. Nobody can defend it.
Oh wow!
Nobody can defend it. Like think about it. Since Jason Inman, no one's had a successful title defense. Mara beats Inman. Mara loses to Mike. Mike loses to Rachel. Rachel loses to Mike. Mike loses to Smets. Smets loses to Chandru.
It's almost like it's like a super competitive, division or something where there's a lot of.
Okay, I get it. Like, how does Kevin Smets forget about what the hell Harry Potter is? Like, he just loses all his knowledge. Like, he didn't look good. How did that happen? Like, he just didn't look good. Like, same thing with Rachel. Rachel was like, she beat Mike and then she like forgets. Then like the next match. Like, I don't like champions don't lose knowledge. It just. Like, I just think
I think what Ferris is saying, Alex, and I know you're saying, well, it might be because it's a good group of people playing, but you look at this Kevin Smith match when he beat Mike, it was a dominant match. Mm-hmm. You know, he KO'd him,
kicked him in his teeth.
And then to go to a match where he just did not look the same. Obviously, we know there's some situation going on, so I'm not sure, but. We'll see what happens. I believe Chance has been, and Robert is getting drunk. Jesus Christ, Robert, calm down.
Just pour it already.
I'm just like curious at this point. Like, that's just impressive. Like,
how big is that cup? How wide?
Giving me anxiety.
Do you want a hug or something, like a virtual hug?
Yeah.
Hey,
good job, Chris. Good job, Chris. Yeah, I just gotta say, I think that I feel Chance is ready for this. She's been training with KO.
I do agree with you to a certain extent. The thing is, I haven't really decided who I think is going to win yet. Personally, I think Chance hasn't really gone up against someone with such a high accuracy rating, someone that's as confident as a competitor as Chandru. Let's face it, Mike is a great competitor, but he wasn't even in the 90% in the accuracy ratings in his matches, any of his matches for this past season's IG tournaments matches. Or if we're going to compare to Robert Parker, he did fantastic, but at least he did get above 90% accuracy ratings. He got one or two questions off. However, Chandru, however, has been in the 90th percentile consistently for over the past year, consistently competing at that level. That is something that Chance and Mike Kalinowski cannot say that they have achieved this season.
That's a good point. Really good point.
I'm sorry, did I make it like a few good points? I'm sorry.
No. I agree with you.
It's almost like you've been watching the Schmodown for a very long time.
I do agree with you, Alex. But to me, but Chance has been in those high pressure situations. Chandru has
lose in those situations.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still game experience. So,
and Chandru doesn't have that game experience.
He has game experience, but it's one game. It's one, I think against Brandon Hanna, okay, when he beat Smets, it was I don't know. I just don't think
Smets was at his top game when he played him. Is that it?
I don't think so. Not against Smets. I don't think so. I don't think it was. I don't think it was a high pressure. I think he was in his element being home. He was fine. There was no pressure, and he's in the same situation now. But Chance, I don't know. It's a gut feeling to me. That's all.
Chance has had more high pressure matches than Chandru. That's for sure. That's absolute sure. You can't doubt that. But Chandru,
it's cursed, man, it's cursed. The belt is cursed.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about this, and this is what I find interesting: is if we were not in this virtual setting, if we were back in an actual live event. You're going to find that Chandru is going to do to Chance what Oyama did to Snyder, which would be that if there was an audience there, you would finally hear Chance getting cheers instead of boos, which I think is kind of a huge thing when you're talking about really anything dealing with corruption at this point. But the fact that I think that speaks more towards the amount of dislike that Chandru's got towards him right now, and why I think he is actually in that heel of the year contention at the moment.
Could Chandru handle the booze? That's what I want to know. Could Chandru handle?
Wait. Here's the thing. Like,
B-O-S, not B-O-Z.
If we could drop like the kayfabe for a moment, which I feel like as after show reactors, we can see beyond the kayfabe.
What's kayfabe?
Shut up, Chris. That Chandru has really stepped it up as far as his character this year. He has done some really good character work. Like I feel like he went to the Brandon Hanna School of Hard Knocks on character work as far as being a heel this year.
Well, he was certainly forced to. He was kind of forced to because he wasn't really doing his job as a face. Let's be honest.
Honestly, I think outside of Shannon, potentially Roxy, Chandru is kind of a shoo-in for heel of the year. I've never seen the conversation surround a competitor so much where they're like, I'm excited to watch their matches, but I kind of genuinely hate them. And I'm like, well, Chandru's doing his job then.
The reason I say that is behind the kayfabe type of thing. Me and my brother have both have conversation. We've had conversations with Chandru in person. We've seen like the look on his face when he's talking to you, the way he interacts with a normal like person, human being, not on camera. There's a video. It was at the beginning of this season. Is it? He's talking to Chance. I can't remember. He's talking to someone. It's behind the Collider Studios where they were filming.
Smets.
Is it Smets?
Yeah, it was Smets. Yeah.
Okay. He's got this look on his face that I've never seen from Chandru, and Chandru went from that. With that look on his face, just the look on his face, he went from that goofy, like I could do the flossing dance. Or whatever this makes you think.
Stop doing that.
Okay. He went from that kind of dancing personality to I'm gonna fuck you up type of look to him. And that's what changed my opinion on Chandru altogether. Like I've talked to him. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know he was capable of that kind of an emotion, a reaction, a personality. I'm eager to see what Chandru is going to bring to this because I know what Chance can bring. I don't know what Chandru is going to bring.
But I do think, what's, absolutely true is, heel of the moment of the year, which was the Wild Berries being separated by Shannon at earlier this year's draft.
Yeah, Shannon won the draft.
Retiring Makuga during that Civil War match where everyone low-key cried.
They gave a heel of the year award out during the awards ceremony last year or this year, and then they could have just turned around and handed it right to her after the draft because that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so am I the only one who didn't care?
Yes.
About what?
About the Wild Bears?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I would still vote when it comes time to voting for the awards and whatnot. I'm still voting for Shannon as heel of the year because of that moment.
Yep.
No one else has done anything that can surpass that moment.
Oh, still got one big night to go. You never know.
I mean, who knows what's happening tomorrow, but
something is going to happen tomorrow.
Okay, so Robert, Paul, you weren't there. Okay. Everyone that was available there, that was there at the draft earlier this year. Now, do you remember the crowd freaking the F out? People started booing. People started sporadically crying.
Yeah.
It was, oh my gosh. You'd think there was an announcement that, a national disaster just occurred.
Absolutely.
Pandemic was coming.
That was because there was no food available. That's why.
Honestly,
when
everyone was hangry.
Very situation, okay. But I mean, honestly, I'm not okay. I don't know if it'd be manager of the moment of the year. However, it was, oh my gosh, like being there in person, I just remember like freaking the F out. I remember screaming, tearing up, and being like, oh my gosh, no, I can't right now. I can't. It was insane.
Also learning the behind the scenes stuff from what Christian had said about Shannon walking up to him and being like, watch this.
Oh
and
yeah.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh yeah.
She and it plays to the moment so much better. And then you have Elliot on this side of the room, you have Makuga on this side of the room, and then the crowd in the middle just erupts the second it happens. It was wild. It was wild.
That's one of those that, like, unfortunately, you have to be there to really appreciate the moment. That's why, like, we're saying that, like, Shannon as heel of the year, it's because we were physically there when she did that in front of all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know if it plays as well watching that one particular video. Like, you hear later on, like, oh, yeah, Shannon broke up the wild berries. You're like, okay. But if you were there physically when she did that, oof.
When Shannon dropped the big brain move.
Yeah.
Just saying. Get those Streamlabs, Nick.
Can we take his wrench away? Why does he have a wrench? Get him out of here.
So here's the thing. Like, my brother, those of y'all who've been following us lately, sorry, this is going to be a very personal plug.
You don't have to bring this down right now with that. It's okay.
No, those of us who have been following us lately,
going to anyway. It's all right.
My brother has had some issues due to a car accident a couple of years ago. I'm not about to tackle my brother for $1,000 donated to the Streamlabs that's not currently up here. To the streamlabs.com/Smash-A-Thon. You donate $1,000, I will tackle my brother. You donate how much? How much do to tackle?
Caveat: $1,000 and a couple hundred directly to us, so I can pay for my hospital bill.
I'll take care of you. I know exactly what we're doing. 500 will get my brother to tackle me again.
There you go. There you go.
Actually, here's the thing. Here's how valuable that donation is. We don't actually have the footage. There's no way of recalling the footage from the Smash-A-Thon stream where he tackled me.
Yeah.
So
I think Chris might have it, but I'll have to look into that. So
I've looked into it.
Okay.
We need that footage available. I wish we could have it, but we can't apparently. So yeah.
Should have kept his drink.
Okay. Is there anything else we should say about the Challenger match, or should we move on?
Perfectly fine.
Move on to the next match. Okay, we will move on to the next match, which is
Alex tackle Lucas.
Kevin Smith versus Brett Sheridan. That'd be funny.
Alex tackle Lucas.
I had to bring my prop.
There it is.
Nice. Very
real quick before we get to the next two matches, unfortunately, I am going to have to hop off.
Oh, you're going to have to.
Okay. Jake,
yeah, I am going to have to hop off.
Why?
I know. I'm sorry.
Man, TPOB has no stamina. Where are you guys? Come on, man.
I know. But I do want to say, before I go that to C2A and Cinefanatics, you guys paved the road for what we did, and what we are doing. We love being a part of this community. It's because of you guys, and meeting you guys, even though it's not in person yet, just interacting and everything. Thank you guys so much. Let's Get Ready. Shug, Ferris, Justin, Bidor, the whole crew.
We're not gonna cancel Jake, Rachel. That's not cool.
No, I mean this whole community in general. The fact that this stream is actually happening is awesome. The fact that something like the Smash-A-Thon actually happened is incredible. And I can't wait to see what next year brings when we're back in person. What that brings. But keep rocking, everybody. Just keep rocking. Keep supporting everybody. Everybody in the chat, keep supporting everybody. And let's keep this thing going. So
absolutely.
Thank you to everyone again.
I'll visit you in Sacramento in 3 years.
There you go.
So if he's taking off, do you want to do POV plugs?
Absolutely. Look at that. Sunday, right?
Sunday. Yes, the Cinefanatics are going to join us for a spectacular breakdown.
Who are they?
I was not aware of this.
Wait, what?
Well, that says otherwise. That says otherwise.
Yes.
Who are the Cinefanatics?
The Cinnamon Fanatics, right?
Cinnamon Fanatics, guys.
They are a after show channel that does not get enough love in this community.
That's true.
That's who they are.
Jake.
So yes, 6 p.m. Pacific on our channel. You can join us. We'll
Jake, we already agreed to be on your show. You don't have to.
Hey, for real. Hey, for real. Love you guys. Love all you guys. Alex, PLD, Shug, Ferris. Keep rocking, and we'll meet up soon.
Hey, Jake, strike hard, strike first, no mercy.
No mercy, baby.
No mercy.
No mercy. No mercy. Not really, Jake, but
shut up, Jake.
I'll allow the joke.
Jake, I think you've brought a lot of. Okay, and I'm not gonna say because he's gonna yell at me.
Right. Jake will yell. Jake will definitely yell. All right, then let's move on to the next match. Then we got 2 matches left to talk about: Kevin Smith versus Brett Sheridan. We were just getting into that. Shug's got his prop; he's ready to go. So I guess that means you're voting for Kevin Smith, not Brett Sheridan.
Yep. Oh, come on. Let's be serious for a second. Come on.
I will say,
Alex, can you be serious?
Brett Sheridan was on coming up next. We did give him 5 Kevin Smith questions, or maybe 3 or 5, and he got them all right without multiple choice. So he is ready for the Kevin Smith category if that does come up.
Okay, I mean, but still, come on, let's be serious. Yeah.
The undefeated Brett Sheridan, put some respect on his name.
Well, wait, he didn't know who directed Jurassic Park, I believe. Is that right? Or was that
Who? Wait, who didn't know that?
It was, or was that?
I feel like that's like movie trivia knowledge 101 right there.
Like it was like, yeah, I mean, like I remember there was like one. It was like the more like the question was director Steven Spielberg directed what sci-fi adventure, 90s sci-fi adventure with a tagline this. And neither one of them got it.
Okay, so they kept it vague, so like it wasn't obvious that they're talking about Jurassic Park.
I'm gonna break down the number of clues. We got sci-fi adventure. We got a decade. We got a director. We got a tagline. This is all you need as
what was the tagline?
I'm sorry.
This is why we should be like. This is why we should be hashtag Alex for manager.
Other like sci-fi adventure movies by Spielberg from the 90s can you think of? I'm sorry. AI, artificial intelligence, is not a sci-fi adventure. It's just a sci-fi movie, sci-fi fantasy movie. No.
I mean, Alan brings up a good one in the chat. Minority Report.
That's not in the 90s.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Hashtag Alex for manager of the year. I'm just saying.
There you go.
That is in the 2000s. Yeah.
So wait, so Shug, you're kind of like, it sounds like you're like super against Brett in this match in terms of his ability to win it. So let me ask you this question. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you still support Brett and Kate's playdate?
Absolutely, I do.
Then you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm right. I can. Even if I didn't support it, I say what I want. No, it's not that I don't believe in Brett. I just think that Kevin Smith does what he showed in that Jericho match. He does have a lot of movie knowledge, and depending on how high he gets, he might be able to recall it. So, I think it's good. I think it's gonna be a fun match. It's the same with the Brittany and Jericho match.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm eating, but I'm diabetic and I need to eat. So
that's absolutely okay.
Do your thing.
No, I'm eating steak. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good match, and
I would too.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna just be a fun match to watch. I'm not looking for a bar burner now. It would be hilarious if it was. I hope Sheridan scores more than 11 points. That would be nice.
I would honestly love for Young to knock us out of the flippin' park. She's not involved with the Schmodown community or anything all that much. Like, she does. She's like a legit actress that does like a whole bunch of stuff. It's crazy that we have her, which I'm so excited. But she had a lot of casual knowledge, and I believe, as far as I know, she went to film school. And so she has like a ridiculous amount of just casual knowledge just hanging up in the noggin. And also, I just want to point out how is Jurassic Park not a sci-fi movie?
It is.
Like, it's the definition of a sci-fi movie. Like,
yeah, there's science, and apparently it's fiction bringing dinosaurs back to life.
Bringing dinosaurs back to life
actually do.
At all?
Wait, that's fiction. Is that not also happening this year?
Yeah, I don't know at this point. I stopped guessing what could happen this year.
Is Contagion considered a sci-fi movie?
Not anymore.
It was.
It was science fiction.
It happened.
Now it's a science fact.
Like, well, I mean, if it took place in the future, is any movie that takes place in the future considered technically a sci-fi movie?
Yes, because you're like you're lying. You don't know what's gonna happen in the future, so like it's all fake and fiction.
It depends on how much of the movie is actually like rooted in
you know the future, Alex?
We're showing you what the future will like. We're showing you that flying cars will be in the future. Then yes, it's sci-fi. It has to like at some point show you that something that we don't understand or use right now will be in common use, and that's what makes science fiction.
Absolutely. It's, I feel like that's like kind of it's very weird definition. Thing is that the definition of science fiction, science fiction in general is something that's like, it's very recent compared to a lot of other genres, and it's kind of a funky category because obviously when you look at you, it's kind of like one of those things where you kind of know it when you see it. Blade Runner, obviously sci-fi, things like that. But there's or Looper. I love that movie. Obviously sci-fi. But when it comes to like, let's say as if it's a sci-fi drama where it doesn't focus on the technology or anything like that, is it technically considered a sci-fi? What if it's technically like 1 or 2 years in the future where there's like, where all the differences is like fancier phones? Like, technically, maybe, yeah.
Alex, I don't need your logic in this, all right? Like,
your complete disregard, and I respect that. I respect that. Compared to other genres, I do want to compare and just want to point that out. Like, it was like sci-fi. Paul, do you know when it was the sci-fi genre is like invented? It's essentially, it was like circa like 1850 or something.
I mean, somewhere around there, exactly, but they had storylines back then.
Like
Invasion of the Body Snatchers was like.
Metropolis is old school sci-fi in the 1920s. A lot of them are potentially in there, but I mean
that one Hitchcock film.
You're gonna have to narrow it down from that, Ferris.
Motherfucker, you're the trivia guy. You find out.
You said like 2 Hitchcock movies.
Either way, I think we should going back to the match itself. I did want to say I love this match. I love Kevin Smith, so I want to see Kevin Smith win. I'd love to see Kevin Smith win. As much as I love Brett Sheridan as well, but I love Kevin Smith. If he wins, I feel like he'll be back more. I almost feel like it's kind of like one of those things. If he lost, they kept losing, then like he would not be there around as much. But winning, you kind of keep booking him. So the more we see Kevin Smith, the better for us. So I think Kevin Smith did well, and he proved that his recall is better than I thought it would be. Yeah. I heard when it was Smith versus Jericho. I kind of was predicting Jericho initially because I was like, well, Kevin Smith he definitely has a lot of fun, and he might have a hard time just coming to answers in the 15 seconds he has. So
here's the thing: as the Schmodown grows and they start pulling in people of like name, people that we know from movies and TV and wrestling or whatever, we don't know what they actually know. So here's the thing: like Chris Jericho, we see how he wrestles. We don't know what he knows movie knowledge wise. Kevin Smith, he makes a lot of movie references in his film, but is that him himself that knows that movie knowledge, or is it like a group of people that he has around him? They're like, oh, hey, by the way, make this, put this in the script that you're making a reference to this. The Schmodown is what's really going to help show whether these people of nomenclature, let's say, know what they're talking about when they bring it to this arena. So
I'm sad that we couldn't get Doug Benson this year.
Yeah.
Like what happened?
Yeah.
Like what happened? Like, do we know what happened? Does Sam Levine know what happened?
I think it was
Justin Hamilton know what happened. I don't know. Justin, you know what
Do you
happened?
know what happened, Justin?
Listen, I know two things. Not all sci-fi is futuristic because the greatest sci-fi of all time is done in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago.
That's
And
fantasy, but okay.
Alex, you do not have to show fair. You do not have to show Ferris respect for two. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Doug Benson, but I'm going to tell you right now. I hear Robert over here putting some disrespect on Chris Jericho's name. The La Champion. I'm going to be watching tomorrow whenever he pulls off the victory while I'm sipping some of the bubbly, sir. I don't know what you over here talking about.
What I was saying is, like, he doesn't need to tell people in whatever arena how much, like, movie knowledge, like what Scorsese film he is aware of, to put the smackdown on any person that is most deserving of said smackdown.
Never let it be said that Cinefanatics are not good backpedalers.
You know what? You know what? Justin, your ass can't even afford the bubbly, Justin. So shut up.
Wait, man, you made me drink a whole bottle of bubbly not long ago.
Man, that was the box wine. Get out of here.
Hey, don't be bragging about how much of a whole bottle you can drink when you're on a stream with PLD over here.
PLD has made love to a bottle of Jameson.
It's very true.
Oh yeah.
Me and Jameson.
PLD's baby mama is a bottle of Jameson, and they have a kid together named Marty.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm just saying
Jack Daniels.
that even back in the day when Chris Jericho could travel and COVID wasn't going on, like when you travel, you're in a hotel. What you gonna do when you're watching in a hotel? You're gonna be watching movies, man. That man's been watching movies for forever. And now, especially during this whole like COVID time, like he can't even go out and do the partying that would stop him from watching some movies. All he's been doing is watching backlog upon backlog of movies. Like Chris Jericho is about to slap some fools down. He went toe to toe into overtime with a director of movies, and even got that guy sliced whenever he was in the actual competition. So Chris, man, look, I don't know. Chris Jericho will probably never see this, but we ought to clip it out and send him Robert's words that he spoke a little bit earlier. And then maybe Robert would be, talking a little differently whenever Chris Jericho, La Champion, gets his teeth into it.
He's saying that Robert
I'm never gonna see Chris Jericho in real life. I don't care.
You know what, Robert? You know what, Robert? You made the list.
Yeah,
made the list.
You made the list.
You just made the list.
That Kevin Smith, he's, obviously being a director, he's, he is like in the field, obviously, compared to someone that works in wrestling, which is works in entertainment, but obviously it's a very different kind of job. Is that the thing is, Kevin Smith, whenever he does interviews or he does it for his podcast and stuff like that, you can't deny the man has knowledge. However, it takes him like 15 years to come up with an answer. Oh my God. Okay, so how many times has Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson like starred in so many rom-coms together? How many rom-coms starred in together?
3.
And Kevin Smith is going to be like, well, is it 2? Is it 10? 5 years later, we still don't have even a countdown. We don't have an answer. That's the kind of competitor he is. He has a hard time like pulling answers, even trying to narrow it down. He has a hard time making decisions. So I'm really kind of curious to see how that's going to play out. However, Jericho, whenever he competed, if you kind of noted, he actually pulled out the answers really quickly by comparison, and he did go to the 5-pointer. So even though he did lose in that match, I think it's much more impressive to me.
All right. So what are our final predictions? Are y'all saying Kevin Smith?
No.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Kevin Smith on this one, edging him out a little bit.
I think Kevin Smith probably does have the edge against Brett Sheridan, but it's going to be a really fun match.
Let me tell you something, man. He is going to win because he is facing a guy that literally says he doesn't watch movies. Like, I mean, come on, people. I love Brett.
I'm pretty sure Brett Sheridan has started watching movies since his last match.
We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Okay. So, but Alex, you're going Sheridan?
Sure. Why not?
Alice likes to be contradictory. Whatever I say, she wants to go the opposite. But I respect that at this point.
You know what, Alex, just say what you really feel. You don't give a shit about this match.
All right, Justin, real quick, just before we go on to the next match, Justin, I just want to hear, since you hopped on your calls on these matches that we've already talked about, what you're calling Damon Cabrera.
Damon and Cabrera?
Yeah.
I'm going Damon.
You're going Damon.
Dude's a champion for like 2 years for a reason.
Okay. Yep. Jericho and Young.
Jericho.
Shazam or Odd Couple?
It's Odd Couple. We got the Patriots 2.0 going on right now.
And Chandra and Chance.
I think Chance, but some of that's because, like, Chandru's the hardest bad guy to ever root for. If you see the hat that I'm wearing, I obviously like cheering for bad guys, but like Chandru's literally the toughest bad guy to literally put your name behind. So, like, I'm going Chance.
Okay. All right, before we go to our final match, you might get an appearance by one other person at some point, but we do a couple of Streamlabs here I want to throw in here. Alan Smithy, director, calls on the director. Yo, Smash-A-Thon, what up? That's my question. Love you, Alan. Thank you for the...
That's a statement?
Streamlabs. Yeah, that's his question. What's up? What's up?
Oh. What's up?
PC, the lovely PC. Who I'm rooting for. Ace, Chandru, Young, Shazam, and Dan. Waiting for my Smash-A-Thon shirt. No matter how much you guys raise today, I know Smets appreciates you all. Positive thoughts, the Smasher. Absolutely on that. And finally, the greatest statistician of all time in the Schmodown, Megs donates and says, good night and love to you all. Catch you all on the other side of the spectacular. Hashtag
I don't know.
Smash.
I don't know if she's still here, but Megs, I'll add some more questions to the doc later.
Yeah, I heard you were very excited about your questions there.
No, I'm not. It's hard. It's hard.
So real quick before we get to the final match, I kind of want to dive in a little bit to what do we think is the supplemental material that's going to be happening during the spectacular. What other things could potentially possibly pop up?
I am calling it right. I am calling it right now. If Corruption wins, if Ace does not win and Corruption wins the faction, in the middle of the thing, Shannon's going to announce her 3 picks as Adam Collins, Chance, and Marisol.
Wow. Ooh. I have wondered that.
I mean, I would do that anyway.
See. Because the opportunity, does a manager have the balls to draft Kalinowski? Like, I wonder if he makes those picks and says, on Kalinowski, nope, I'm going to end the draft. I'm going to end the draft. I'm not going to sign with anybody. And then we have the balls to pick him away from her.
Roxy.
Marisol, I agree with you with her. She definitely is she definitely has potential to be top tier, but she's not. Like, she's played in 2 singles matches and 2 teams matches, and she's only won half the time.
Yeah, but you already have a triple threat within in Chance. I think Collins, if he wins the singles title, you're gonna have to keep him. And what does Mike really do for you other than
win both a team's belt?
Yeah, but then lost it, and you have an upcoming team like Deception who lost to an Odd Couple. Yeah, but they lost to Odd Couple who had a 96% accuracy rating.
Let me interject.
That team never loses like that.
Without Mike Kalinowski and Corruption, are you saying there's no team on Corruption or no team on that faction that could win without Mike, Chance, and
I think no.
Collins and Marisol?
Deception has potential to win a belt, absolutely. Right. But I feel like that's quite a rush into an assumption, based off a rookie team. If you're going to make an assumption like that, I feel like it should be saved for a team like the Final Exam. That is something to be more in consideration, significantly more than Deception.
Nah, I would not, because really up until the team's tournament, Final Exam really they didn't really play good. They didn't really play good.
they're 6-2 or 5-2 by comparison. This one is like 1-1.
Yeah,
Like-
I would take more. I would take more of a chance on Deception. That's just me.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think. I don't. Yeah, it's potential. I didn't. When Final Exam lost to Shazam, I am surprised they did as good as they did because Lon was having a really tough year to get knocked out by Collins. I was really surprised how they did in the teams tournament. So I could see where you're making that argument, but I think you're looking at potential. You're looking at, Mike took a really bad loss to Perry in that singles tournament, and then took a real bad loss losing the belts, and he took it hard because it was on him.
So did
Chance
Chance.
held up. Well, but Chance played good enough in that match. Mike
Chance,
did it.
technically, I love Chance. Chance, however, is like 1 or 2 and 3. I want to say compared to Kalinowski, who has a significantly higher, a better like winning record by comparison. Now, I'm not saying that there's one more than another, but there's one that clearly does has a history of winning multiple belts. That has had multiple belts at the same time. Chance has never been in that situation.
But that was before. But that was before Alex.
Yeah, and he
What has Mike?
get it.
Now, okay, but this year, what did Mike do that impressed you so much? In the title match, he didn't play good. In the family match, he didn't play good. And then his loss
against like literally defeating like 4 other competitors in the tournament, not good enough. Okay.
And in the IG, yes,
like twice before. Okay.
Well, the one thing about the IG tournament was before that tournament started was like before
Chance
that tournament got started. Yeah, right. Chance won, but I'm also going to say everybody was talking about how set up Mike was in that tournament before it even started. It was like his road through the tournament was like the easiest road that anybody had on the thing.
I disagree. I don't think he was ever fully set up to be in the tournament. I mean, like I disagree on that part. However, that's just me. But also something to remember is that it's just like, would we ever have that conversation with a competitor like John Roca? He's won one match this season?
Yeah.
I would have that conversation.
Conversation around John Roca, who has won the singles and teams.
I keep Marisol over John Roca.
I picked Marisol over John Roca.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm just telling you right because here's the thing.
I'll talk to him.
Okay.
No, but Mike the Killer Kalinowski, as he peaked, as he got into the top of the level that he could get when he went through that run, right? And then he's kind of like, we know what he is. If you take away that run from Mike Killer Kalinowski, like if you take that away, that one great run he had when he was trying to go for like all the different belts. Now, like, so was that his peak, right? Was that his peak run? You're taking the chance of letting go of a star that could be one of the best players in the game. Talking about Marisol,
he's getting better every time.
And on top of that,
that will not be playing in 3 divisions, and also hasn't successfully competed
should
in
be playing in 2.
But playing in 3 divisions, Alex, is not a gift. It really isn't because
I understand that it is not a gift, but it's great to have in your faction regardless.
I don't think so.
If you're losing in all 3, then it doesn't really matter very much, does it?
That's very true. That's incredibly true. However, I mean, look at someone like Kaiser, unfortunately, that, put a lot of stock in having competitors that are very hyper-focused in one league instead of like multi-tiering like Shannon did, where she's like, hey, I want you can be like someone like Laura Kelly and be amazing in Star Wars, but I really want someone that's really good at 1 or 2 divisions. And like,
but she's going to be good at 2 divisions. She's going to have singles possibly, and you got the because she's going to be good at singles. She just doesn't have a huge opportunity. I mean, she got beat by Paul Young that went perfect in the match.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
She's going to be good in teams, so she's only missing the one, which is IG. And the thing about it is when it comes down to it, she's a possible shining star that you let go. What if you let her go? She goes to another team, becomes that big of a star, and not only the fact of becoming a big star, she's going to be, unfortunately, because we haven't got. That's why Kristen's trying to get more and more women involved, so they have more and more chances to have better and bigger players. And you're a female manager, and you're giving away possibly one of the best shining stars in the women's division, possibly ever. possibly,
No,
like a possibility of winning a belt.
Okay, I'm thinking of specifically the numbers. And when I say that, because I'm thinking of the numbers specifically, because that means if I'm having a competitor that's playing in multiple divisions, that means more matches. And that means I am more invested in one competitor or in more numbers wise, invested in one competitor over some others. Now that's to say there's like Marisol is not more or less worth something than Kalinowski. However, there is more merit to a competitor like Kalinowski who has more gravitas and knows how to also train and work with other competitors as well. He is actually the one that trained Chance, not only with teams and singles, but especially in IG. Chance has actually mentioned on several occasions that he would not have won the tournament if it wasn't for Mike mentoring him. And that is not something you put a price on versus Marisol being a rookie. As amazing as she is, she doesn't have that gravitas by comparison.
Well, part of the strategy you have to ask, real quick, the part of the strategy you have to ask is what I mentioned earlier. You could take the risk of keeping Marisol and thinking that Mike could actually slip to you in the draft because people know Mike wants to work with Shannon.
That's very true. Very risky.
Well, here's the thing, though, that I have to disagree with you. You're saying you're looking at more matches. Well, Mike didn't get more matches playing 3 divisions. He got the run in IG, but then it was out of the singles tournament in round 1. So to me, you're taking a chance because you're stretching him thin. They were a team's top tier team. They won the belts, then lost the belts. So that put him out of the team for the season. Then he went into the singles tournament and lost in the first round. So I understand what you're saying is you're going to get more matches, but also stretches you thin. Where to me, where Marisol is going to be the most useful is if you've seen what they did with Deception, and Deception was a good team, and we all think that Deception is a future title contender in the teams matchup. You know, so you're gonna get matches there. I think Marisol is going to get you matches in singles because also too with the way that this year worked out, we weren't going to get a lot of matches. So I just feel that Marisol has the higher up than Mike, whereas if you stretch him out so thin, he might lose and then he doesn't get another match. Now his name might get you another match, but I don't think his play would get you another match. But go ahead.
I do think that I actually really much do agree with you when it comes to spreading a competitor too thin. That is so common and it's very hard to ignore. And I do think a competitor like Kalinowski was put in that situation this year. However, I do think it comes down to high risk, high reward. So if you are going to be a competitor like Kaiser, where he invested so much specifically within IG, that did not work out for him.
Well, I'll tell you this. We'll go by the numbers.
By comparison to Shannon, now the thing is, I understand every manager is different. Every faction is different. That dynamic is very different, and the competitor is different. However, Mike also kind of took on a leadership role within the faction, and that's not something you can put a price on. I do think, however, that like I said, as amazing as she is, I do think if there is going to be a core trio within corruption, you need to cover all the divisions. You don't need to cover just 3 out of the 4. You need to have Star Wars, IC.
Well, I could tell you behind the scenes stuff. With those 3, I think all 4 divisions are covered.
Well, for one, if you keep Chance, like Shug said earlier, you got your IG. You got the better IG. Like, so now you're running into the fact of, like, if you're counting Mike, like, so you said numbers earlier. Let's go through numbers. Mike, singles, 7-7 with a 69% accuracy rate.
Okay.
McKee, she's 1-1. Her one loss to Paul Yama, who went perfect in the match that she lost. She's at 87%. I think McKee's going to be a better singles thing. So, like, if I'm already keeping Chance, I've already got my IG locked down.
How many matches is that, though, Justin?
2.
2 matches.
It's 2. Yeah. So, like, my thing is, though,
there's championship matches, or they don't really take into account tournament runs, or if it's not really spread.
Kalinowski has never played in a championship match.
Not in singles.
He's never played not in singles.
Kalinowski?
Not in singles. He flashed out of it.
In championship matches for teams and in IG. And that's something you really think that you want to dismiss that as a competitor and be like, nah, bro, I want to take on this rookie that's technically that wins half the time.
when you have a stellar
But that only wins half the time statistically.
We're just gonna do it this way. You had Mike on your team, but I'm gonna tell you what. You took the chance whenever you got Collins and Marisol, and those are the ones that actually won you the championship this year when the factions could break down. Not Mike. Mike didn't do it. Yeah. Mike was what happens tomorrow. Like every one of her players, even if they bit the dust, the other teams still have to like earn points to even try to even get up there. She's got that wrapped up pretty much because of what they did.
Well, let's come back to this. Let's get this last match in. Let's get this last match in, and then we'll come back to it if we want. Okay. So let's get this last match in. Go ahead, PFD.
Yeah, we did definitely would have a little bit far. That's all right. But that's all right. It's good stuff. Last match of the main event. The main event is going to be Dan Murrell versus Adam Collins. That's going to be a very interesting match because you have the old guard versus the new guard. You have the story of the Schmodown this year is Adam Collins' rise to dominance from the half a season he played. He only lost again. He lost that one match with Deception, but he hasn't lost a singles match. He's won the 4 free-for-all he was in. I said it before. I can't root against Adam Collins until he loses. I really can't. I mean, Dan Murrell has been there before. He's never lost a live event. I mean, I know this isn't live, but it's in a big event. It's hard to see him losing at any point, but I have Collins. He has holes. He's shown he has a little bit of holes here and there recently, but I still think Dan is not going to be able to overcome it. I don't know. But what do you guys think?
I'm going to come from the opposite direction where for this match, I'm not going to root against Dan when he's playing somebody in their rookie year. He's the GOAT for a reason.
I agree. But I just really quick before everybody else is saying, this is kind of like Snyder for me. It's that Destiny storyline. And Destiny Collins has that Destiny riding with him. So he's probably the Destiny train with Snyder. I think he's a new champ. Everybody else, go ahead.
Hey, Paul?
Yeah.
Do you apply this mindset towards the Star Wars match as well? Where there's no reason to, go against Collins because there's no reason to doubt him at this point, but there's also no reason to doubt Andres Cabrera as well.
The difference is Collins has won even more spectacularly than Ace has. Ace has had some close matches here and there, and Ace's knowledge hasn't been comparatively. Ace's knowledge compared to Alex's hasn't been, as a Star Wars fan, has been quite as strong as Alex has.
Paul, you focused on the wrong thing for this answer. The thing is the two champions. It's more on the two champions is why this is different. Alex Damon is dominated. Dominated.
Mm-hmm.
My man Dan Murrell has won matches that he should have lost because Ben Bateman couldn't pull the trigger. So
that's true.
Like Dan Murrell should have lost twice. He should have lost in Atlanta
this year against Ben Bateman.
Ben Bateman lost them. That's my point. Is Alex Damon wins his matches, every one of them, and Dan Murrell's played good. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but he was 5 points down in one match and 6 points down in another match going into the last round, and the guy that was in the lead just couldn't pull the questions.
Right. And again, this happens to also be another one that I think has a little bit of affected by the online versus the in live person. We've never seen Adam Collins perform in person. Does that mean he's gonna crack under the pressure? Not necessarily, but we don't know. We know that Merle would have that presence in the live event. It's not quite the same as intimidating factor as it is online, I feel.
This is a thing, like watching this in the virtual realm, I feel like it's what's really going to throw like some of this match off. Merle's he's had enough practice in this virtual realm to be able to do this, but I mean, Adam Collins has really been able to bring it so far. This is going to be a very hard one. Like this is probably, in my opinion, the epitome of if there's anyone who could possibly be a worthy match for Dan Murrell, it's Adam Collins.
Agreed.
I mean, you got like Paulo Yama beat him for the belt, but I mean, Dan Murrell took the belt back eventually. So this is the one where I feel like this is the Batman versus Joker type of scenario. I feel like we're bound to see these two in endless battle for a while.
Well, that's. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I honestly think we still got another good Bateman Merle match in us. I still think that's going to happen again eventually because I think those two matches were still both those matches were match of the year candidates, and I think Bateman could definitely beat Merle at some point as well. So I think he'll enter the picture again as well. I think.
I don't think Bateman is going to be in the picture at all.
Strongly disagree.
Teams, yes. I don't think he. I don't think he. The way Adam Collins has performed this year, I don't think Bateman would be able to hang with that. And I know you guys have said that this is on the the Zoom calls and all that stuff. I think come when we get studio matches, I don't think it's going to matter.
It might not. I'm not. Cause I'm definitely not
I don't
declaring that it is going to. I will say that. I have no idea. I just know that a lot of competitors we've had from the past do kind of have a certain swagger that works more in person. Because we've seen the difference in person versus them in online matches.
I don't know about that one because, here's the thing. We hear Ben Bateman talk about how he's got this super secret new strategy that's going to win him the entire season. And here's the thing. I've seen at least a piece of Ben Bateman's past strategies that he used before, at least up until when that Houston match. If he's got something that he feels this confident in, I'm saying that the man is still definitely a threat this next season.
110%.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think anyone is going to doubt Bateman. Bateman's just had a really, like a lot of us, obviously this year's just been a little, I don't know what this year is. I mean, it's, especially in terms of Schmodown, this, I think also that Ben Bateman really just needed a very specific, whether you like it or not, break, and let's face it, that is very great for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes, being who we are always our own worst critic, and, we never want to give ourselves a break. We always want to push ourselves a little bit further. And, Bateman, had, just like a lot of us has had a really tough year. And he's kind of mentioned that, having this very a break that's been required, essentially, it's kind of required him to refocus in a lot of new ways.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is I get what you guys are saying about that. But to me, where I think that what's going to happen to Bateman is these two losses to me are bad. He had a 5-point lead and a 6-point lead going into the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to lose the way he did, I think every time now that he gets in a match and it's close like that, and he's going into the 3rd round, 5th round, and it's close like that, it's going to pop into his head. And I don't know if he has that. I don't know, because the 2 times that it's happened, he's failed. So is he going to have the mentality to shake that off or go back to that place where I'm up now, but I'm having a hard problem?
That's a level of disrespect that I do not appreciate. I do not like that. Shut
It's happened twice. It's happened twice.
You're not wrong. And you
oh, wow.
About it, but
it's actually happened more with with the Shire Wolves, with the Andrew guy and the mishearing what Andrew guy told him. It's happened, in with the Riley, and now it's happened twice with Dan Merle. I mean, I think mentally, when a tap match gets tough, he might not be able to recover.
We don't have this conversation surrounding a lot of other competitors that occasionally lose.
Because a lot of competitors are not in championship matches.
And you don't think it's possible for a competitor to redeem themselves? You don't think it's possible for competitors like Bibiani to redeem themselves?
No, anybody can redeem themselves.
Yeah,
anybody
but
can redeem themselves. But show me.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, Chuck, I think it's fine. It's all about the question.
Disregard them from the get-go?
All about the questions.
No, I'm not disregarding from the get-go. I'm saying if this is the best thing I've heard about this game is a mental game. You have to recall knowledge at a split second. You have to recall knowledge. That's what this sport is. Recall knowledge, split second, and get it out. Okay. I don't doubt Bateman can do that. But here's the thing. The 2 last losses that he has on his record, he was in the lead to win a championship going into the 5th round. That hurts him. That hurts. And you go back to that place. If he is mentally strong enough, he will come back. Not saying he can't. But those 2 losses are really bad, and some people might not recover from that.
You're right. Some people wouldn't.
So if he's in a position where he has to answer a question, some people can't recover from that.
I think
that's some competitors, but Bateman is a competitor that is not only confident he can recover from that, but he is ecstatic. He is ecstatic to prove himself again. And again, the disrespect. The assumption.
I mean, if we're gonna look, I'm gonna just say it like this: he can be excited and he can be like, I can do it, but when that moment comes, is it gonna happen?
Wait, first
you
of all,
you can tell me all day that you know he can do it. Paul can say I've had private conversations with him. Let's see what happens in that moment.
I agree.
He needs to answer a 3-pointer or a 2-pointer or a 5-pointer.
Okay, let's say
I get your doubt.
Like,
I get your doubt. I totally get your doubt.
Would you have that conversation surrounding Rachel Cushing if she wanted to come back?
By the way,
she never dropped the ball like that.
What about Kevin Smith?
Like you said, he dropped the ball. Like you said, Smets dropped the ball in his last match against Concho.
But Smets didn't lose on a 5-pointer that he needed to answer. He did not lose. He did not go into
You're right.
He did not go into the 5th round. He did not go into the 5th round 6 points or 5 points ahead of Chandru.
He also didn't do it twice in a row.
Yes, he did not do it twice in a row.
But here goes the thing. The 2 most dangerous competitors in this league right now is Ben the Boss Bateman. And it's Ben the Boss Bateman he's dangerous as hell right now because of what's going on. And Andrew DeMolante. Both of them. You know why? Because they both lost in a horrible way, and I saw it in their eyes. And they're both not giving up. Instead of giving up, they're going to go at it. You see, the biggest thing that you need in any kind of competition, whether it's football, soccer, or even this, is motivation. Some people try to fabricate motivation. They'll put a little sticky note on the top of their computer or desk or whatever, trying to remind them about what they have to get motivated for a match or something like that. Ben the Boss Bateman and Andrew DeMolana don't have to have a sticky note. It lives with them every day of why they're playing or why they're trying to do what they're trying to do. That makes them dangerous. So, like, when it comes down to it, no, I think Ben the Boss Bateman can come back. I do think he needs to work his way to that point. I don't think he needs to be facing Dan Murrell again because, yeah, obviously, like right there being that fresh is going to be kind of tough for him to do. Dan Murrell, I do think he's going to pull out this match against Collins. And the reason why is because if this would have been a 3rd or 4th match from Collins, I think he pulls it out. I think Collins wins. But the thing that was kind of weird that just happened by accident was in that singles tournament, you ended up having Liz and Collins on one side with Snyder and Irwin on the other side. So you actually had this new breed because Liz is part of that. She's barely part of the league. Yet technically she played like before, but like it was only like 1 or 2 matches. And then you had the old dogs going against each other on opposite sides of the bracket. Collins won his, Snyder won his. Collins at that point in time took the old dog out. The new guard won. But see, that's the problem though, is Dan Murrell saw that. Dan Murrell wasn't blind to that. He saw what he did to Snyder. He saw the respect that Snyder never really gives to opponents, give it to Collins. He saw what happened. So if you think Dan Murrell's not coming into this knowing what's going to possibly happen, then I think you're crazy. Dan Murrell's the champion and the GOAT for a reason, and he's still good. Like, he's still great. So I think Dan Murrell, like, I think Collins is coming into the thing of where you gave Dan Murrell too much. You gave him too much. You gave him 6 wins in a row, and now, like Dan Murrell, I think Dan Murrell's you worried Dan Murrell. You scared Dan Murrell. Dan Murrell started sweating a little bit, but you don't want that from Dan Murrell because that's when he's going to get prepared. And he's gonna win.
To that point, we've seen like a Dan Murrow who doesn't prepare for matches can still win matches. We're talking about a Dan Murrow right now who's going to be preparing for this match because he's seen what Collins can do throughout the tournament. I don't think you count Dan out at all here.
No, not at all.
This is literally going to be Dan Murrow in the fight of his life. Not only is he going up against a competitor who could potentially challenge him, it's also up against a rookie. Like this is going to be unheard of at this point that you get a rookie that in his rookie season. I'm ignoring the teams match because that was a teams match, but himself in singles. His entire career, he's been undefeated, going straight. Let's just beeline straight to Dan Murrow.
Wasn't Oyama undefeated?
Yeah, but Oyama hadn't won as many matches as Adam Collins. As Oyama didn't have
bigger tournament, and Collins came in a play-in out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oyama didn't have to go through that massive tournament to get to Dan Murrow.
I know what you're saying. I just don't think.
So who are you saying is going to win, Robert? Who's going to win, Robert?
Damn it, Justin.
He's going with Dan.
I think Dan still has the ability, but I would not be surprised. This is one of those I want Dan Murrow to retain the belt, but if Adam Collins gets it,
Robert, who you going for? What are you putting your name check mark on? Who you picking?
Here's the thing.
Shoot or get off the pot, Robert.
Yeah, you're really upsetting. Look at you're really upsetting Alex.
Justin is incredibly invested. Justin is really invested in our picks right now because he doesn't want to pick, so he's forcing us to pick in his bed.
You can shit even though if you're not sitting on the pot. Let's be honest about this. You can just have it follow you along.
But is it comfortable?
Nights.
Is it comfortable? Do you want that?
No, you don't want that, Robert.
No.
But it happens,
Robert.
Robert, make a decision.
Peer pressure.
Decision.
Well, Robert, you gotta do something.
I think there's a very good chance Dan Murrow's still gonna hold on to it, but at the same time,
because of what he just said.
But Adam Collins is going to push him to the extreme.
Okay.
I
So
might pick Dan Murrow.
Listen, because he's picking Dan Murrow, I would like to retract my last statement. I'm saying Alan Collins is going to win. There is no way in hell that I'm going to let Robert be on the same choice that I'm making because I know his ass is wrong. So let me tell you something. Adam Collins will win the championship against Dan Murrow. And scratch everything I said just before. That's right.
Yeah. Real quick, ASG, you're smoking something. I don't know what. To sit there and say if Collins wins a close match, you still give Dan the singles player of the year. Are you kidding me? Adam Collins is 7-0, knocked out opponents left and right. And if he wins the championship as a rookie, you got to be out of your goddamn mind.
That bro is
I do think there's something to be said for the conversation because we haven't really talked about the storyline when it comes to these competitors. I know we kind of talked about it briefly earlier, but if we're going to talk about records exclusively, it makes sense that, Alex, Damon were to win Star Wars Competitor of the Year, but the Cinderella story surrounding Andreas is, something to take in consideration as well. Obviously, Adam Collins being 100% Rookie of the Year, he doesn't have the same kind of oomph to his personal story and growth compared to a competitor like Snyder, who he's going through a Snyder-sance. Now, that's a conversation, a story I'm actively more excited to talk about by comparison.
I have to disagree because if you talk to people, especially to a lot of people we had talked to, a lot of people said Adam Collins was a middle-of-the-road player and they were okay. He wasn't this knockout artist that he came to be when he started playing. People were like, "Oh yeah, Adam Collins, he did good in the fan leagues," but a lot of people did not expect him to go the way he did. And you're talking about you didn't knock out some chumps. You didn't knock out Ben Goddard. You didn't knock out Jader. You knocked out John Roca, Lon Harris. You beat the kid in overtime, and then you beat Liz Shannon Miller, who beat Bibiani.
I'm not disregarding. I'm not disregarding that, but I'm talking about personal experience of people that I've spoken to as well, including several competitors that have mentioned they just prefer. Maybe it's a bias being veteran competitors, or maybe it just comes down to personal bias that people that they actually genuinely know, people that they have an established relationship or storyline with in Schmodown. Because let's face it, we have a longer, more established relationship with Snyder. Yeah. Adam Collins is amazing. I have no doubt he's going to get a belt. Which belt first? I'm not entirely sure right now, but he will 100% get a belt. Thing is, I'm not excited about his story by comparison. I'm not excited to talk about his story. I'm just not. I think he's awesome. His actual matches, he's played in some of my favorite matches of the year, but I'm not excited to talk about him. He's just such a chill competitor.
I disagree with you, Alex. Disagree.
Alex, disagree with you. Alex, correction. Let me tell you something. This man has played in more matches than he's gotten wrong answers. Think about that for a second. He has literally played in more matches than incorrect answers he's had.
That doesn't matter to me. That's like a random. That's a wishy-washy fairy dust little statement. That doesn't matter, But what does matter?
Are you kidding me right now?
That doesn't cool. But I mean, that doesn't really. I think it's like I said, I'm not talking about the stats. I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about the emotional attachment to a competitor.
And you don't get emotional attachment to a competitor that's going through and possibly doing something that nobody will ever repeat and nobody probably can ever do again. Because if he goes through this and beats Dan Merle and goes 7-0 and goes through.
I'm talking about a competitor that is in the conversation of being on the Mount Schmodown, the Mount Rushmore of Schmodown again. I'm talking about a competitor that has just now found his footing as being as the best teams competitor in Schmodown of all time. He's played in more teams matches than anyone in Schmodown history. That's played in more. That's coming back. That's been played on multiple teams successfully. That has having a reemergence, having a new confidence as a competitor versus a rookie who's playing phenomenally, but he's played in like 6 matches in like 3 months, and that's a lot for a very small time. It's like comparing a really good short story versus an epic novel.
Sometimes the stories are more.
It's apples to oranges, my dude. You want it for the long haul,
you compare your stories compared on how big they are.
Shawshank Redemption was a short story.
Yeah, exactly. So like when you come in here and you're
apples to oranges,
looking at it because one's bigger than the other.
I'm talking about like one is much more of an established, one has more experience, one has more of has a history of having problems like as a competitor where their comeback makes it that much juicier. The conversation surrounding Snyder is changed drastically from the start of the season 6 months ago to now being one of the best competitors of all time. Adam Collins, as being as amazing as he is not in the conversation as one of the best Schmodown competitors of all time. There is
it's his first year. It's his first year.
Exactly, absolutely. Exactly, absolutely. There is the potential.
Listen,
but that's
you're talking about.
He beat Snyder so bad. He beat Snyder so bad that afterwards, instead of Snyder being his old cocky ass self, Snyder gave him nothing but props. That's how bad he beat him. So, like, I mean, come on, let's talk about the same thing 2 or 3 years from now. You can't just read the first chapter of someone's book and assume it's going to be terrible in the long run. You got to keep going about it. Yeah, you are. You're literally grading a guy on the first chapter of his novel.
Yeah, because we are in
Snyder's novel is almost completely written.
Because we are in that chapter of his novel.
Yeah, you're right. You're right that we are in chapter of his novel. But then you got to look at
again. We should not compare apples to oranges. This is a very.
You are comparing apples to oranges when you started comparing Snyder to Collins because it's not fair. One guy's in the very beginning of his career during COVID, and the other guys had years to like compile all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
To do all the stuff he's doing. That's still you're bringing the contrast. We're doing our best to try to like show one guy's side of the story, but you're the one that brought the apples and oranges to the table, and now you're saying we can't compare them.
If the conversation specifically, if we're talking about competitor of the year,
yeah, you have to stick to this year though. You have to stick to this year.
Yeah, you're right. No, absolutely. In that case, we can exclusively stick to this year.
But you just said, well, we're talking about one of the best players to ever play the game, but we're talking about this year.
Absolutely.
So you're remembering what he did in the past.
I am talking exclusively from their matches this year, but I am also talking about how the conversation surrounding them has changed. Them as a competitor this year has changed drastically. Their personal story from this year alone has changed drastically from the beginning of the year to 6 months ago to present.
Who's had a better year? Who's had a better year, Alex? Dan Murrell or Adam Collins right now?
Dan Murrell or Adam Collins?
Who's had a better year?
Oh, Collins, 100%.
Okay.
So those of y'all that are watching right now, this Schmobates conversation, make sure you hop on Twitter and go vote on who do you think had the better argument.
Absolutely, we should Alex and start Schmobates.
Justin had the better argument on this. Make sure you vote on that. We'll reveal the answer at the end.
Our ghost judge.
Hey man, I understand a lot of what she's saying, but she brought the pear and the orange on the table and was like, "Look at these two fruits." And then says like you can't compare the pear to the orange. Like, bro, you brought them to the table. You asked us to basically. You started talking about the two competitors.
A baby rookie up against one of the greatest competitors of all time.
So Alex has Merle.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Alex. You keep saying the greatest competitor of all time.
Who do you think? You get first pick.
Justin, be quiet. Justin, be quiet. You're saying one of the best competitors of all time. Let's just talk about this year. Snyder quit in his match against. He didn't really quit. He just didn't know the 5-pointer against Irwin. Okay, and then they had the match against Who's the Boss, and that was the tough sledding for him. Okay, then now he went on the singles run, which was a great run. Lost to Adam Collins. Adam Collins had a play-in match, knocked the guy out. Had played against Roca, one of the best of all time, knocked him out. Played against Lon Harris, one of the best of all time, or not the best of all time, but just Lon Harris is a good player. Knocked him out. Played against the kid, who is a great player this year, beat him in overtime. Played against Liz Shannon Miller, who beat one of the best in Bibiani, beat Chance Ellison, and beat the brakes off of Rachel Silverstreeting, beat her. Then he played the guy that you're saying is having a great year and beat him. So if we're going based off this year, you have to go with Adam Collins. Now, if we're going about of all time, you're absolutely right. Snyder needs to be the one that's mentioned more than Adam Collins, but we're talking about player of this year. And you're looking at Collins because and if he beats Dan Murrell, who we all consider the GOAT.
When the thing is, so when people talk about competitors, they don't all exclusively talk about their stats and their numbers and which one had the better matches. They take in consideration the story arc as well, the overall story arc. So by comparison, people are just more excited, more attached to competitors that are more established. Now, that's not to say that competitors like Adam Collins are not beloved or they're not having conversations surrounding them. However, the conversations surrounding them are just different by comparison. You know, they're not in the same tier of greatest of all time. They're in the conversation of best rookie season of all time. And that's very different.
Yeah, but like you keep bringing up story. Like, I mean, what exact story did we get from Snyder? We had to do a couple of snide comments.
Like you said, he started off not great. He was losing.
No, but like even the story, but like what was his story arc?
His story arc. If you look back at if you look at the beginning of his matches, you can see his confidence. He, like you said, Shug, he quit mid-match because he's like, I don't want this. This is stupid. Alba, what the F is this? You know, and there was like a whole controversy. He actually quit mid-match, but Roxy got in there and he's like, hey, this is not about you. You have to contribute to the faction and we need you. This is not about you right now. This is about us. And he had this reawakening and he lost a few matches and he's like, no, I'm going to come back. I'm going to study for the first time. And I'm going to come back, and he just kept winning. And he did really, really great in the singles tournament. Now, like you said, he did lose Adam Collins. Absolutely. And what a great match it was. Now, thing is, yeah, it was a great match. It was one of my favorite matches of the year. He also ended up going into the matches in the team's tournament and played really, really fantastic. But again, we're just coming back to at the beginning of the year with the Odd Couple really being like starting off being like one of the greatest teams of all time, and suddenly they lost a handful of times, and they're like, are they even back yet? There's the conversation about Roxy maybe not being a great manager as we thought she was, because if she was a great manager, she would recognize they need to split up, right? Mm-hmm. And then suddenly she's like, no, I have confidence enough to continue with them and bring them into the team's tournament, because I know that's what kind of competitors they are. And they came and rocked it, and they won that tournament. And that is the kind of competitors, if you look at his behavior in the actual matches, he takes them seriously now. Don't get me wrong, he's snarky AF. But he takes them seriously. He studies. He focuses significantly more, and he communicates very adequately compared to even just a few matches ago. So his story arc from this year exclusively is fantastic. Compared to Adam,
Collins went and knocked out a fool in his opening match with the play-in match, right? Like, and then people started saying some stuff, right? Then he went and played John Roca, knocked his ass out. And then people was like, well, he can't answer a 5-pointer. He can't get to the third round. We haven't seen that yet. So this dude's story arc has like disrespect coming from it, undeserved, that he's had to deal with the whole time. People calling him boring and everything, and he's overcome each and every one of those. He went to his first overtime match and won, which is like pretty spectacular after people were giving him crap.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
We do have someone else waiting that wanted to add some more of her opinion to this.
Oh wow, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We taking over this because
it is going to be. Let's get ready. It's going to be chaos taking over. Doris actually has things to say about this. So I'm very curious as to her.
This is my sister. Okay, but you got to unmute
right now.
Yeah, she's doing the LGR thing.
Yes, I have to do the LGR bit. No, that was a complete mistake. I caught it like the end of it. You guys were talking about Adam Collins versus Snyder for single player of the year.
Well,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, we started. Yes,
player of the year. Yes.
Okay, that one belongs to Adam Collins. It doesn't belong to Snyder because Adam Collins won the whole thing. I would agree with Alex for saying Snyder and like Odd Couple deserve it for teams though, but I wouldn't put the singles. I wouldn't put the singles thing for Snyder just because he won teams.
And listen, people, if you go to our brand new website, you can see our rankings where we got Snyder ranked 3 and Collins ranked 2.
So in the future though, for any singles competitors of the year are competitors that should win singles tournaments exclusively?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying his run this year has been amazing. You can't deny that what he did this year is amazing. He knocked out a bunch of people that are considered the juggernauts of this league. You can't deny it.
I guess.
And then he took out Snyder. So it's that
and
kind of
Snyder
situation.
also took out Adam Collins.
Yeah, but you're also adding some of his team.
but he had a teammate to take out Adam Collins.
If you
that does add a caveat to it, a little bit of a caveat to it.
I can definitely see that, absolutely, for sure. When it comes to that, though, but also you can also argue that, Adam also had the caveat of having someone as amazing as Marisol at his beck and corner, to also really put him on that higher level.
Yeah, but they're a new team. They're still getting to know each other as a team. It was literally their second match together.
But here now, I just thought of something, and this is why Snyder is not player of the year. Before Adam Collins played in a play-in match, right? Both Chance and Mike lost in the first round, and Marisol all lost in the first round of that tournament. Adam Collins was the only one left. It was on his shoulders, and you were saying yes, corruption was ahead, but they weren't by much. Swag was on their tail, and Adam Collins carried corruption through that tournament and single-handedly won them the faction this year. Because if he does not win, if he loses at any point, corruption's out of that singles tournament.
I would say it's
Snyder did
Chance
the same thing for Roxy though, because everyone else in Roxy's faction also was annihilated by the first round.
Yeah, but he
Roxy wasn't in contention.
He didn't close the deal. That's true. He didn't close the deal.
Roxy was not in contention though. Roxy was always like in 5th or 6th place. The corruption was in second or first or third, and he had when they all lost. There's no way anybody could have told us now that they saw Adam Collins that says Adam Collins is going to win this tournament. Everyone was like, "Oh, corruption's out. Shannon made a mistake. Shannon should have let Mike play for the number 1 contender spot." And instead, Adam Collins ran through that tournament and beat everybody, knocked people out, beat everybody,
and got points in the free for all. Don't forget about that because that was worth points.
And then won the singles tournament. And won the singles tournament.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to pose this because I'm going to try to wake Robert and Chris up. Looks like they're falling asleep over here. Let me tell you something. Let's go around the horn here. All right. So stipulation. You're in the draft. You get the pick first. The only 2 players you could pick is Snyder or Collins. Who do you draft?
Collins, 100%.
Collins for me as well.
Collins, because he's more reliable. Like Alex did say it. He did quit midway through a match, and if it wasn't for Roxy, you don't know if he would have.
I'd also argue that Collins also has potential in IG from what I've gathered as well, compared to Snyder, who would never be.
Yeah, like Adam has said he it's.
So
sorry
Adam,
sorry for the plug, but he wants to be on the holocron, he wants to talk nerd stuff, and
he's completely a Star Wars guy too. He could actually be a 4-way player if it all develops.
So we now know why Paul's picking Collins, because he loves Star Wars. That's why.
Absolutely. Fuck that, yeah. You know that. So I pick Collins as well.
Who you pick, Robert?
Between Collins and Snyder? Probably got to go with Snyder. I mean, you got to go with the tried and true who's been in this league for years and has already proven himself. I'm not Collins is still a rookie. He's doing a fantastic job, but he has not proven himself on the level that Snyder has yet.
Okay, I have a question for that. Does Snyder have a singles belt? Has he ever held a singles belt?
Nope.
No, he's only held team belts. So he needs a teammate to go all the way.
But you got to take into account the fact not only has he held a belt, he's been in the league for years.
Yeah,
he has been a number 1 contender match.
And Adam Collins though.
Not yet. This is his first year, and he's knocked out everyone who's held a belt.
So even if Collins was to own a belt after tomorrow night, I would still probably rank Snyder higher just because Snyder's had a belt and the years of experience. Collins doesn't have the years of experience yet. That's the only reason.
But that's an all-time ranking.
That's also the way that almost anyone has ever hired for a job ever.
Okay, but if you're going to base it on this year alone.
The what?
Because when we're talking about player of the year and whatnot, we're not talking about all previous seasons. We're talking about
absolutely
throwing stipulations into it. If you're talking about that,
who we're gonna pick to?
Who would you draft? I mean, Robert's got his thing, but like I said, he said, I don't agree with his tried and true comment because Alex has even set up above. He's not. I wouldn't call him tried and true. Because the guy has done more than just, at the very beginning of this year, what he's done. He's done that in more than 1 match. When something gets hard or whatever, or he doesn't like something that happens, he kind of just gives up. He's more inconsistent.
You have to admit that recency bias does affect the drafting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Affects the awards more, but yeah, definitely.
Well, something to remember is that, like I mentioned, is we have I would actually love to draft. If I were managing, I would love to have Adam in my faction. Absolutely. He is 100% would be in my core trio if I had the opportunity. Also, Snyder would also be in my core trio if I had the opportunity as well. They're just
so who would be your third at your core trio? You got Snyder, Collins.
Yeah, any competitor ever?
Competitor.
Before you answer, Alex, I find it interesting that you argued so much for Mike Kalinowski for being such a three-way player as being so important, but Jeff Snyder is definitively not a three-way player as being important.
As long as he plays at least 2 divisions, that's preferable.
Okay, just saying.
Their thing is, and also successfully competed in multiple divisions. However, compared to competitors like, say, Mark Hoyk, who I think has a lot of potential to really be great in 2 divisions, we have not really seen that come out through in both divisions. But I do think he's a great multi-division competitor.
Well, who would be your third? You said Snyder Collins, and who would be the third? Because I'm putting up my tweet and at Ben Bateman when you don't say him.
You win the Star Wars division. He wins the Star Wars belt in 60 days of studying. Bateman wins the Star Wars belt. That's what he said.
I mean, he said what? He said he needed
60
a
days.
month?
He said 60 days he wins the belt.
60 days.
Let me tell you something, guys.
I
know Ben
He
Bateman.
needs to sit down
I
for
love
that. He
Ben
can
Bateman.
do it for sure. He can
As a
do it for
person?
sure. If he drops everything else.
He still can't.
He-
I know it's Star Wars base.
If-
He has no Star Wars base comparatively.
He has no Star Wars base, but he can study it. That's the thing with Star Wars. He can study it without knowing it.
But he cannot get an Alex Damon belt level in 60 days. I'm sorry. Cannot.
No, he's not going to pull out the parking lot ticket number like Ace Cabrera did. That's not happening.
No,
No,
I think
we've
he
been
would
honest
because
for a
he would watch it with subtitles and he would get the parking lot ticket.
We have one more
But it depends on how he
subject.
studies.
We do have one more subject I want to discuss. But real quick, Bedora, because you just jumped on, I just want to get your answers in terms of what your predictions are, just real quick. What do you got in
All right.
Damon versus Cabrera?
Damon.
Jericho versus Young.
50-50, but I'm going Jericho.
Shazam odd couple.
Shazam.
Chandra Chance.
Chance.
Wow.
What was
That was
that?
almost like an insult right there.
A little vomit in your throat there?
Yes.
All right, Kevin Smith and Brett Sheridan.
Smith.
All right, our final, just to get that out there, our final topic of conversation, I think, before we wrap things up, is we started talking about this when we started talking about the storylines and stuff. That's how we got onto the whole Mike being drafted, yada yada thing, or Mike not being captured by Shannon. We do have to talk about the one storyline that has been talked about, and we've had cutscenes for and everything else definitively, and obviously Andrew Guy hacked the Schmoedown Twitter earlier. What do we think about the Andrew Guy storyline and where it's going to possibly go? Are we going to get some? Are we going to find out who's in charge of Schmoedown? Like, what are we thinking here?
I like that this kind of like dipped out during the Guy versus Bateman throwdown match, and now all of a sudden it's being pushed back to the forefront. Like, hey, this Schmoedown like thing actually is going to happen, whether you like it or not. And the fact that Guy is so committed to it is fantastic. I love it. Like, I want to see the conclusion for this now. Like, you could have lost me after the Guy versus Bateman match, but the fact that this has been properly brought back, you have me sold on actually wanting to find out what the conclusion of this storyline is.
Well, let's be honest real quick. I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. Andrew Guy still to be, I don't know if anybody else disagrees with me, but he's the best actor / like performer for the Schmodown show.
Yeah, that man can put down a chicken sandwich from Burger King. I know that.
Absolutely. He's funny and he can perform, he entertains, and that's what keeps him relevant and strong. I've been loving his stuff recently. It's harder to do in the streaming platforms, so to speak, instead of being in person. But we're getting to see a little bit more action going on. I'm loving this angle. I want to see where it goes and how it's going to finish. I have no idea at this point how it's going to finish. Although the action heart of me does hope that this is somehow long winding road from the Beatles kind of way, going back to an action faction at the end of the day, where you get Ben and Drew back together, get team action faction. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know how it's going to happen, but
Here's the thing, Paul. You're a member of the Call to Action.
The Action Army
Aftershow. No matter what Andrew Guy does, that's what you're always hoping for. Oh, Andrew Guy went and bought a fish sandwich at McDonald's today. Hopefully, this ends up in him reforming with Ben Bateman. Like, no matter what he does, you're hoping for the team action reformation. Let's just be honest here.
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Wait. So he's getting
Are
a
we
fish sandwich
all?
from McDonald's. That means he's ditching the chicken sandwich at Burger King.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And I did that on purpose.
But he bought the
Faction.
he bought the fish sandwich from Ben Bateman's cousin.
That could be. That could be absolutely.
Probably.
Alex, what are your thoughts? I know you have thoughts.
Oh, it's 12:45 in the morning for me, and I gotta go to bed.
Well,
That's
before you
what
go
I
back,
got.
Good thought.
Yeah.
Hit
So,
while we're wrapping this up.
Wait, Alex. Let me check something real quick. Nah, guy. It looks like Lucas is still playing D&D on his Discord. So you got a couple more minutes.
he literally messaged me, and he's like, "Yeah, he was doing that." He like when he came over here, but yeah, yeah. So I would probably have to say. I actually posted like one of the segments on our call to breakdowns is that we do a Schmodown fan fiction, a segment of our show where we kind of talk about potential storylines we would love to see happening. That would kind of emerge, shoulda, coulda, woulda, that could emerge from a specific match or moment. And as a result, I put out there into the universe. I was like, this is my Schmodown fan fiction. Andrew guy comes in. He's like, F it. I'm going to take over the Droogs. It's my faction now. And F it. I'm going to rename it and call it the Inglorious Dastards. That's the new name of the faction. I'm going to dress whoever the F I want because I'm a manager now and whatever. And, it's gonna have nothing to do with team action. I don't think he's gonna go with Bateman or that, or he could be low key the first digital commissioner or something.
Could see it. You know what I actually want to
now we just got insight on.
Can we just get Andrew Guy in the desk? Because that's what I want to say. That's really what I want to say.
Oh, he's so pretty.
Glorious
so
Dastard.
Probably just
Inglorious
the competitors
Dastard.
when they don't know the answer.
I feel like we all just gotta like insight on the stuff that Alex contemplates while sitting on the toilet in the morning. I mean, like let's be honest. Like I think of weird things too.
I actually have that was actually suggested by Adam Collins in a super chat. He mentioned this is it's like I would love to see him run a faction and it be called the Inglorious Dastards, and I ran with it. So blame Adam for that name.
Hashtag blame Adam.
Blame Adam. I need to get that out for me anyway. So all right.
Hey.
All right, okay. Chris, you've been quiet over there. What about you, Chris? Oh, you're gonna go, Alex? All right.
I gotta head out.
Bye, Alex.
Bye. Look, I gotta say something here. Isn't it if people donate to Streamlabs, isn't this going to Kevin Smets?
It is going to Kevin Smith. That's right.
Why the hell we ain't got no damn donations?
We got a few. We did get one from some guy named Hambone. And it says,
I'm a single
start
dad.
donating, people.
I am broke as hell. I just sent $5. Come on, man.
That's right,
man.
You
got $2. You got $2. Send it in. It's going to Kevin Smets, man.
Answer any questions you want about the spectacular, about Schmodown, about our shows, about our personal lives. I'll answer anything you want to answer.
I will answer anything.
My personal life is going to stay personal.
I will answer anything. Do you want me with my answer to the question?
Unless you send in $100, then I'll give you all the tea.
Ooh. Wait. That's all we need is $100?
No.
Let me get some money from the podcast. Hold on.
Look, I'm just telling
right now.
No, Shug, save it because we have editors to pay.
The door set that bar really low. Let's just say.
I mean, she works with us. I mean, so that means her bar is really low.
I'm going to tell you right now, like
that is true. That is very true. New shows, if you want me.
Paul asked a question that he hasn't gotten to me yet. You want me to make that man cry?
Yes.
Send in some donations.
Yes. Send in some donations. Do it.
I don't want to cry.
No, I'm going to make Paul cry, not you, Bedora. I would never make you cry.
But if you make Paul cry, then I cry.
Wow.
We just got a donation there from Mr. Jake Yakavetta.
I'm sorry, Justin. Do you talk to me all
See,
the time?
Alabama, like, don't let Alabama donate you people. Don't let Alabama. We broke as hell. This state's one of the brokest states in America. And me and Jake Yakavetta over here in a 15-mile radius is whooping y'all's tail.
Jake does donate half of Bedora's.
Just so we know you and Jake are the same person.
Jake just donated. Hold on, Jake Alcavetta just donated half of Bedora's secrets.
Wow.
$50. Don't tempt me with a good time. So.
Wow. That's also expected from someone donating.
Can someone send in the Streamlabs so we can ask Bedora why her chair is so freaking huge?
So I can
Holy
sleep on
crap!
So I can sleep. I legit sleep on it. I can actually like.
I
curl
bet
up.
you,
Robert. You
I
should
can
bring.
actually curl up in it because this bed, it looks big, it looks comfy. It is.
No, I just
and
want
it's
to know
all my
about
dog.
your chair because look at this sumbitch. This sumbitch falling apart right here.
Let me tell you something, Robert. You remember a movie series called Star Wars?
No,
Yeah,
I've
and
never heard of
there was
Star
a
Wars
character-
ever in my life.
Let
We
me tell you this
established
little
this
story.
last night.
Vaguely familiar to me.
Let me tell you this little story right here. There was a guy in there. His name was the Emperor, and he didn't need a huge chair either. But yet he had the biggest chair known to man that anybody's ever sat on. There's a thing going around that's called the Schmoedown. Someone may possibly be a leader of that may also need a big chair. I'm not telling you everything. I'm not telling names. I'm just saying.
We got a couple more Streamlabs real quick. Trash Panda donated asking, what's going to be the biggest draft / free agency shocker?
The Cinefanatics will be split up.
Mike
right there.
He's getting a bump. Mike Kalinowski's getting just dropped.
Yeah,
for two reasons.
Hold on. I have a phone call.
For two reasons. Two reasons. Because she would be making the smarter move when I'm talking about Shannon by just dropping Kalinowski and keeping Marisol. But two, that's a huge storyline for next year.
That would be
Mike Kalinowski trying to go back and get a corruption.
Well, I'm gonna do one better than Justin. Mike Kalinowski ends up on the Rockstars.
That could be. I thought about that before.
On Roxy's? Going with Roxy?
Roxy, like, you want to try this again?
Like that would the storyline wise, that would be interesting.
It'd be fun. That'd be
fun.
Hey,
I could see that.
PLD.
Yep.
Can you bring up one of Jake Akabetta's last comments? Like not the very last one, but the one up above. It says it starts with because.
You mean bring up one of your comments, right?
Because the state is full of idiots, plus me and Justin. Let me tell you something. A tear almost dropped down my eye and fell into my beard when he didn't call me an idiot. Thank you, Jake.
I'm surprised Jake is being nice to Justin. Is it like an Alabama thing?
I'm surprised y'all still consider them two separate people.
Listen, I sat next to him. He saw that I was bigger than him. Maybe that's part of it.
I can't vouch for that, Justin. You haven't been in our apartment yet.
No, Robert, I'll tackle you if I was there.
Corey, I think she's going to give
deal
up.
with tackling me.
I think she's going to give up Alex Damon because I think what this year has realized is, especially with the Star Wars, it's going to be hard for Star Wars champions to get matches. So I think that she drops Alex Damon. And her team's her three are gonna be odd couple with Mike Kalinowski.
You know, Shook, you got a big point there. And one thing is, real quick.
Wait, hold on.
Real quick. All I gotta say real quick is that I do think that I don't know. Maybe it's just this year in general, and maybe it's a problem. The Schmodown might have to think about what they're gonna do. But going for the championship is far more advantageous to factions than holding a championship.
Yep.
Yes.
Especially Star Wars. When we just said if this was a regular season, how many matches would Alex Damon have got? He'd get 2 matches.
I mean,
in Star Wars.
I have 2 ideas.
Door.
One, if you hold the belt for each year, you double the points. That would be good for the factions. And then 2, Shug, you're fucking crazy if you think Rox is going to get let go of Alex Damon.
Yeah, because he can do IG as well.
He can do IG now.
I think if Mike's there, she keeps Mike an odd couple.
She's definitely gonna be
because Mike can play IG too.
But Mike isn't on her team.
Listen, I'm just gonna say
I know Shannon's gonna drop Mike, and then I think Roxy's gonna approach him and say, "Come play with me." And she'll have her IG player, she'll have a teams, and she'll have 3 singles players that are great. Mike was just in the finals of the IG tournament, so that gives you a good IG player.
But Mike
And
is going to say
so-
no.
No, I don't think so. I think he'll play
Mike's
for
gonna-
Roxy.
No, he said he said I will not play for anyone other than Shannon.
He said that last year.
Sure.
Yeah, but
I
he
said that
said
this year.
Sure. Can I just say that we
Funny
want to
possible
start doing our
bullshit.
podcast this late? I want to start doing our podcast this late at night because Bedora, I don't know if she's got like second wind or if she just has more energy at this time, but she whooping motherfuckers' ass up in here, like shutting people down. I like it because
she's a morning person. It's like 7 a.m.
No,
in Kuwait
I am
right now.
not a morning person. I'm just excited because I'm with PLD.
Wow.
What time?
Wow.
What time is it where you're at right now?
10 a.m.
Man.
But here's the thing: I've been awake since yesterday.
Keep bragging.
She can keep going. She's got stamina. Bedora has
That's
more
a-
stamina than anybody else put together. Anybody else in the stream put together. That's all I got to say about that.
Man,
Well,
I
she's on performance enhancers. Okay, let's be honest.
I like to sleep. A
She
lot. That's
she
cool.
she does a little bit of stuff. You know, I won't comment on what it is, but
Wow.
I'm just gonna tell you right now that like
Oh, Red Bull.
people did
It's called
donate.
Red
I don't drink energy drinks.
no,
don't.
I'm joking. She actually drinks vodka, raspberry vodka. It's a great.
Wow,
No,
that's
that's
like
not their
one
vodka. Good to know.
That was like-
That's
she
one
got
time.
it one time.
She's got the dogs that wake her up going, "We need to pee."
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Oh, we do have one more stream I want to ask there. There's a doggy. Oh, I love the doggies. JJ Windward, of course, Action Armor JJ. Donate says Justin's not as intimidating as Roka, but here you go. Which inactive competitor would you love to see come back to the Schmodown? I
Rachel.
vote Matt Nost.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
Rachel
Wait
coaching.
1 second. Did he just say what now? What was the first part of that?
Justin's not as intimidating as Roka. But
Let me
here
tell you
go.
something. I stood next to that man and his eyes had to do this. So you might want to rethink that. But look, we'll just go on and answer the question.
Yeah.
Rachel Cushing for sure.
Rachel Cushing.
Rachel.
That's
Oh
an
yeah,
easy
she's
one.
bar none number one. Like and on our interview not long ago, like I tried to try to stump her a little bit, and I asked her like, how long would it be for you to be ready? Because people was talking about how long it would take them, and they could possibly compete in IG, and she was literally like, I don't need no time. If you told me that I was going to play in 2 weeks, like she said, she would take out anybody that she would face.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe. I mean, she's definitely been involved with Sam's faction this year, as far I know, as far as training and stuff goes. So I'm sure.
But she's the proof, though, that you can be intimidating with your play, and that's what I want to try to point out with Adam Collins. Even though Adam Collins may be laid back, it seems like while he's answering questions, the fact that he keeps answering these questions in the way that he does is intimidating. It's the same thing that Rachel Cushing. Rachel Cushing did not come out and intimidate people with her talk. She didn't do any of that. She said a couple of words, and that was it. But she did it with her actions, and that's what Adam Collins is doing right now. It's kind of weird how sometimes, because people don't give Dan Merle that same crap they're giving Adam Collins right now. They don't give him.
Another
because
one
he's the
would
greatest.
be
But Merle don't do shit. Merle don't do nothing. He just walks out and he's himself, and every now and then he puts some words together. But that's it. He don't do anything.
You also have to keep in mind that there's actual human beings behind some of these characters. Rachel has said multiple times that she had a lot of social, like getting used to performing on camera type of thing. She had the knowledge the whole time. She just wasn't able to be that personality that you want to see on camera, like performing. And like Dan, the stuff that we've seen from Dan, even going so far as to see his Scoops McGee character, I'm surprised we even got that from Dan. Dan is a very straight-laced, by-the-book type of person, and to see him go off of what we would consider normal is fantastic because he's so good at it.
Yeah,
I think the player I would want to seek return is from a podcast called Cinefanatics. I like to see Robert Adams return.
I feel like I want to see that guy return.
Come on.
Speaking of boring, I was playing.
Another interesting one that I would want back is Sam Whitwer, just because I want him to go against Alex Damon.
Yeah.
These are all fantastic answers. I love Sam
He
Whitwer.
loved it so much he threw the Jameson down.
That's exactly what happened.
I love Sam Whitwer. I love Matt Nost. I'm not going to comment on my brother and all sorts of all these other answers. I think the real answer that we all should be thinking about, though, is Omembe.
I was going to say that.
Wait,
Humberto Gonzalez.
Like, really?
Can we ask? I'm guessing that's PLD's wife right there. Can we ask her how much it would be?
Either that or some random woman wandered into PLD's house.
What kind of donation do we need for her to just slap PLD? That's what I want to know. Like $50
for her to slap me. It won't take much for her to want to slap me.
Why do these donations always have to end in violence?
Violence sells, Robert. Violence sells, and unfortunately, on YouTube, we can do some violence. We just can't. We can't do any sexual stuff. Violence and sex sells, and one of them we can't do on YouTube.
We did have tackling last time. Smacking is
Thank you for going the violence route.
I mean, no. Justin, I have to disagree with you. Sex does not sell because Jake Adovita showed his ass, and that thing was
that ruined.
I mean,
that is not sex.
We are
like the reason not to have children.
It's not even an ask. It's just the all back.
Look,
back
Gucciverse should have sued
Twitch. Still
What has happened?
in my vein.
Listen, Gucciverse should have sued Twitch for like shadow banning them for no reason because Sugar's right. There was no ass there. There was nothing showed on that camera. Like, let me tell you something, man. That was bad.
We are going the second best with Bador and myself in the appearance of doggies and kitties on the tree. So.
I would laugh so hard if that cat just like scratched your face up right now.
Oh, she probably would too.
Dude, look at that fucking fat ass cat, man. That thing is fucking
wow.
Indiana Jones
body shaming that cat like that. That's messed up. It's okay, kitty.
That's a pretty kitty.
It's okay to be big, kitty.
This one doesn't realize that she's on a stream right now. You need to look the other. The camera's that way. Learn how to perform. Anyway,
it's so spectacular tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be great.
Listen, I'm finally going to answer PLD's question though.
Go ahead, Justin. Answer your question.
Storyline with that stuff is like I'm going to answer it sort of like Suge would if he would have answered it. Listen,
this cat's pissed off at me.
That story is great. I mean, really, that story, the stuff on the camera is great. But the thing that sucks about the story is if it comes towards for him to be a match, like it'd be cool if he becomes like the next manager, right? Like that'd be cool, right? A good story. He becomes a manager and gets a draft. But if this is a story for him to compete, bro, last time he was in a match, Suge answered more questions than him, and Suge don't know shit. Like for real, like the dude got blasted. Like, I don't even know if I want to see him compete anymore. Like, can he answer questions? Is it going to be him being knocked out in the first round? Like, I'm being serious here. Like, that dude, like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because he was trying to play the character too big, whatever. But that dude wasn't answering shit. Like, for real.
Hey, Partis, don't be plugging that Brad Frank crap. Where you're going to come, you come to the tailgate, okay?
Yeah, 10 a.m. before they even start. Me and Miss Bedore over here is going to be knocking y'all socks off with some other folks coming in.
Can I come?
Yeah,
I need my socks knocked off by Justin.
PLD, you can come.
You're going to be up.
Sweet.
Yeah, you're going to be up.
PLD, you need to talk to Kim about that, okay?
I'll have to. Hey, Kim, can I come?
Wow.
Oh, I would die laughing. She would just scream, "Where?"
Paul, I don't know like why you got to ask her now when you didn't ask her in the shower earlier when you were by yourself. Like,
wow. Anyway.
Well, you have another stream I have to get to real quick before we go back. Actually, yes, that was exactly what it was, Jake. I knew you'd get that. PC donated, and I started rooting for Smets because I saw he was so sweet and just tough as shit. And that's very true. PC, he is the man. Love Kevin Smets.
What did he say?
What?
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
Oh, I started rooting for Smets because I saw he was so sweet and just tough as shit.
He is. He's really sweet.
He is.
I will admit, I went back and like since I was a kid, I didn't like Newsies, and I recently went back and watched it, and I spotted Kevin Smets in that movie, and his character is awesome because he's like hardcore behind bars in jail. Like this is the most hardcore best character,
and that was a PC, so it's a she, not a he.
I'm glad you went there, considering that we have Paul to Newsy on the stream with us. I mean, I could have went to another different direction. That was good right there. See what I did there? You see what I did there? Yeah.
I did see it there. I love you for it, man. I love you for it.
Anyways, it's time to start wrapping tonight.
We do have one more Streamlab now. All of a sudden, I gotta say, I got another
go
Streamlab.
ahead, absolutely.
Another generous donation from Mr. James Lavario.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Thank you.
There he is.
Let's go straight to Smiths, bro. Let's go straight to Smiths. He needs that.
Going straight to Smiths. A good $50 donation there. So
Shout
shout out
impression off
to the Schmodown community. Let's go, Merle, Shazam, the Sniper, the Demon. I'm either on IG. And sorry to say, I don't care about Jericho versus Young. Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. That's why it's a 50-50 for me. I don't remember how Brittany Young played.
Hey, Suge.
I just chose Jericho.
Suge, do you have some of our stuff from our stream yards over here? Because like half his picks were clown takes. Come on, man.
Hey, real quick, I will give a shout out to James Lavario because I went to school with that guy. I know exactly who he is. That's a good dude right there. So
he is a good dude. He's been doing a lot recently in a lot of different chats, everything else, action as well as.
And I think Buck just sent in another StreamYards.
He did. That's why I'm actually about to get there. So let me do my goddamn job, motherfucker. Come on.
Well, I
Hurry
mean,
up and talk about the money, BLD.
BLD. This is not C2A, okay? We run this a tight ship here, okay? Come on.
Wait,
I have some in here. I control right now everything. That's right.
Okay. Type ship.
I
Let's
am stoked from Brandon Buck. I am stoked, so stoked for this supposed final scene that Christian has been teasing. Hashtag Spectacular 5.
Apparently, we got a message to react to it.
What if somebody murders Christian? Ooh.
Yeah, those of y'all that are contemplating possibly starting in this after show reactor game next season, here's how you get your start. Film yourself reacting to whatever that final scene is. That's your entryway right there.
Yep.
When Christian tells you to react, you react. That because he gives gold.
Yeah, but we
almost.
can't react to it.
You can tape yourself
live. You can't do it live.
We can't do it live just because it's on Patreon, so we can't.
Welcome to the game of after show reactors, everyone.
We're taping ourselves tomorrow, reacting. Yep. Well, a few of us are taping ourselves reacting, but then we're just going to kind of package later on. And
can I be invited?
Wow, but Dor, we got our own one we have to do.
Wait, we're gonna tape. We don't tape ourselves reacting.
Dora wants to join C2A. That's the
hashtag. I guess that's what's happening.
I'm hearing.
Like,
wait, we don't.
Yeah, we are. We got asked by Christian himself to do it, just like Robert said. Yes, we're doing
that. He said through the entire.
And there you go, guys. The storyline of the night is Bedora's defecting from Let's Get Ready.
Did you guys react to that? Listen, that's tomorrow's cutscene. Is Bedore getting on screen saying she's leaving LGR?
Hey, Bedore, if you want to be known as Bedore Adams, you're free to join the Cinefanatics. I mean, our sister. We need a sister here.
America, then yeah.
Let's be honest. We know where Bedore's going.
Bedore 2A.
She's going to the she's going to the #1 podcast on. She's going to POV. Come on, let's be real.
The winner of this year's award, probably.
Yes. The winners of this year's award.
Ooh, even Paul's admitting that.
Oh, I'm admitting that. Yeah. I'll be honest. Hey,
again, I just want a nomination.
Yeah, you don't need to win that. Just give me a nomination.
I love POV. I mean,
it's a nomination. That's all I need.
But they've done very consistent this year. Obviously, I love them.
Yeah, they're amazing. I love POV.
Speaking of plugging ourselves, let's get into some plugs.
I will in 1 second. We have a couple more streams.
People are still donating money. Fantastic! Thank you for doing that.
Party, Robert.
Why do you sound so angry for donations?
Party.
Wow.
Army. Hold on.
Not at all.
I love that you're helping Kevin.
Party does say go join LGR Spectacular Tailgate at 9:50 a.m. PT, and also Shug, Justin, Bedore, and Ferris are so cool. Party, your Action Army. What the fuck, man? You got to plug us too.
Hey, I'm LGR and Action Army too.
That's true. That is Bedore is definitely Action Army as well. So that's good.
I've stayed in the Action House. So,
and
but you're not.
Wait, Justin got to stay in the Action House?
I got to stay in the Action House. I touched and hugged everybody, gave them all full frontal hugs. I drank with them and everything. Got all of it.
I love a comment from ASG.
I remember those.
Came on the show because POV wasn't represented for a bit.
That's what it was. That's what it is. All right, finally,
I feel like we have to have a meeting today.
Again, James. He says, well, It's for Robert, but he's off screen. What the fuck?
That happens.
Chris instead of Robert.
Yeah.
Let's collab. That's what he says. So Robert wants to collab. James Lavari wants to collab with you guys, I guess. So definitely make that happen.
I'll let him know.
All right. That's unless Streamlabs come in last minute, we'll start plugging ourselves. Phrasing. Oh, look at that.
Plugging myself.
Let me take him off. Take him off.
No, I know why he said that.
If you want to
shilling all over the place.
Listen here, if you want to buy better looking merchandise, we have a merchandise store.
Hey, here's
We're not on C2A tomorrow.
Is this nice and soft? This is a
nice.
soft ass shirt. I'm just saying.
Nice. I got my seat. No, I tried at Harris on. Anyway,
of course you do.
Of course I do. Let's do some plugging. Right here. We go. We got. I'll plug this even though they're not on. We plugged it earlier. The Certain Point of View with special guest Cinematics on Sunday. What time are you guys going, Robert?
I do not know.
Okay, late at night. Some other late. They're gonna be
whenever their show. I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark. It's whenever their show typically goes live on Sunday. So
I think it's 8 their time.
Yeah, I think Jake actually did tell us, and
I mean, David, of course you're a shill. She got you a damn computer. Get out of here.
Yeah,
that's more like it. That's more like it. But no. And Thrawn, how fucking dare you? I know you know better.
Why don't you put his last comment up there?
What was that?
LSG.
I'm not going to put that.
Thrawn, baby. Baby, got that hoodie, son.
Got
that hoodie, son. It's
I'm gonna say real quick, Thrawn. I gotta love Thrawn. Thrawn spent the first 6 months in our chat, rooting for another. He would come into our chat just to root for a different reaction crew, D2A. You just come into our chat just to fuck with us. But he's now in our chats all the time, and he loves us as well. So I love Thrawn.
Yeah, me and Thrawn talk a lot.
Thrawn is amazing, dude. I love
he told me about something, and he hates
Weston Bedore is under contract. Bedore's under contract under Let's Get Ready LLC, so she can't go anywhere for a while. Let out of the contract.
Yeah, but see, Bedore, I got a lawyer, and we're going to work on that. Bedore, you and me, we're going to start.
What are you talking about, Paul? You're coming to LGR. Paul, you're coming to LGR.
I thought that was going to happen. PLD, what the fuck, man?
I might be on the tailgate tomorrow now. Looks like we're negotiating on air. Looks like right now I'll take it.
And then here's the thing. I know people joke about me leaving LGR, but I wouldn't because no one else would take my jokes like they do.
Well, this is a show I'm going to be on tomorrow.
Except for Shook. Shook doesn't take my jokes.
Tailgate special with special guest.
No, I don't like
and guess who just got kicked right off the damn tailgate show, and that's PLD's ass over here.
PLD also making
you know what I'm saying?
Now, supposedly.
We're going to have Schmodown. We're going to have Spin from the rear. We're going to have Schmoes from the north, along with PLD, I guess, and the lovely Bedore. And we're going to talk about the Schmodown. We're going to talk about it real. We're going to probably drink a couple beers. It's going to be early ass in the morning. Man. You know what happens in Alabama? When you start drinking before lunchtime, everything. There is no rules. There is no rules. The kids are just, my kid won't even be here, man. I might walk around naked on the stream. I don't give a damn. It's time to have fun.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing tomorrow.
Change the thumbnail, put me on it, and I'll be good to go. So.
I was about to say I'm sad that we weren't invited, but then he was talking about walking around naked, and I'm okay with it now.
Well, hold on. Because the reason you weren't hold on, Chris. The reason you weren't invited, we're trying to give those unknown reaction channels some love. Schmoes from the north, Mount Schmodown,
and
Spin
Paul
from the wheel,
and PLD.
That's and me. I'm not well known on my own.
How do you not love PLD?
Before we get out of here, if someone donates $100 more toward Kevin Smith's tomorrow on the tailgate live, I will go knock on Jake Acovetta's door and wake his ass up.
Oh, okay.
In all honesty, you
I
are
will do it live on camera. I will do it live on camera.
You're like right around the block from him or whatever.
15 minutes away, right?
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes away. I will drive to his house and knock on his door.
I think that'd be awesome having Jake in there, wake his ass up and put him on there. That's great.
Slide into bed with him?
We'll climb into bed with him. That's
wow. Whoa, climbing into bed with my man is going to cost at least $400.
I would say that's a high price selfie right there. We want to see that on Instagram.
There's some people I might do that for free with on this.
I won't open the door.
I doubt it's Jake or Justin though.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
LGR is also doing an after party.
Yes, we are. We will have a guest from each match tomorrow.
Nice.
I will spoil one of the guests because she's my favorite person in the world. That is Kate Mulligan. Will be on the show tomorrow with us. So make sure to join us. We're going to be we kind of messed up the time, so yes, it will be at 8:30. The spectacular might still be going on as far as the end scene and all that stuff. But we'll start going. And I just got to say, everybody, we're gonna have one person from each match is spectacular. So make sure to join us. I'm pretty sure by the end of the night we're probably end up going longer than what we say are. PLD might join us later in the night because he said he ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah,
so
right.
But make sure to join us. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be me, Bador, Justin, Ferris, Saul might join us, and then we're just going to have a slew of people joining us. So it's gonna be amazing. I really appreciate Bador and Justin and Ferris for doing this because it's gonna be amazing work doing this last thing before the new year. So
for real, our website that Adelia put together is simply amazing. She worked hard on it for like a week, and she's like nervous about it. She wants to like have people look at it and tell her it's good to pump up her confidence. So do it.
Hold on, let me grab that. I'll try to put that in chat.
I can.
Put it. Yeah. Put it in the private chat again because I had it. I don't know where it is now, but I'll definitely throw that in chat for you guys.
I can put it in chat.
Or actually, might have done it earlier. I think it scrolled. There it is. Actually, I got it. I just I had to scroll back to it. I'll copy it and put it in the chat for you guys. Also, I want to let you know that we do have one more Streamlab now before I plug C2A stuff. JJ Winward again. Thanks for all the donations, JJ. I appreciate that action, JJ.
Yeah, man, for real.
Calling out for work tomorrow. Calling out for work tomorrow morning to eat a whole pizza and drink multiple bottles of wine with y'all. Let's fucking go. It's spectacular, y'all.
Yeah, that's how to do it right there.
We'll see you on the tailgate. We'll see you on the tailgate because that's how you're tailgating us out.
Finally, I will say, C2A is not doing a show tomorrow. We will be reacting and we'll set up, like I said, we will get out some highlights of our reactions later on. But on Sunday, probably honestly the same time point of view, so I have two tabs open. You know, I love you guys both. We are going to be breaking down the spectacular as well on Sunday night because we don't have chill this week. We're going to do that instead, probably a little earlier. I think we're going to go down about an hour earlier for that. And that's it. Spectacular it is. So let's talk about other personal plugs before we get out of here. Since we're who is left, since you had the stamina to make it all night long, or Bador hopped on the last minute, but I'll give her some love anyway. Bador, where can the folks find you?
On Twitter and Twitch at BIDOORR, where I play video games on Twitch a lot, and I'm started Cyberpunk 2077.
Nice, very nice. And Bador, you got to remind me when I'm coming on the Holocron watch along. I filled it out and I can't remember what I'm going, so remind me.
Oh yeah, I will remind you
because I love going on the Holocron with you guys.
Wait, did you send it back to me?
I think I did. We'll talk after. Robert Adams, my friend, where can the folks find you?
You can find, let's go ahead and do both the Cinefanatics. You can find both me and my brother, Robert Adams MLP at Twitter and Instagram. My brother, Chris Adams MLP at Twitter and Instagram. Cinefanatics MLP at Twitter and Instagram. Real quick, we're going to plug, we do have our Patreon. We just recently within this past week made our what's it called, a Discord.
He's old. Oh my gosh,
our Discord is now live. You can chat with us on our Discord. All you gotta do is donate $1 to our Patreon. You're on our Discord, so add our Discord to your lengthy amount of Discords that you're a fan of. This coming Tuesday, we have our show, The Tagline, because we are a movie YouTube channel overall. We're going to talk about all the nastiness that Disney just unfurled upon us yesterday or 2 nights ago, depending on what time zone you're watching this in. That is this coming Tuesday, Tagline, 9:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Justin, where can the folks find you?
You can find me where all full frontal hugs are given. And I am on Twitter, but I do everything on Let's Get Ready, Holocron, talk about Star Wars all the time. and it's lovely. It makes my life have meaning. And that's pretty much it. Every now and then I'm on the Gucci verse when they do top fives or whatnot. Peter Brown, Ghana Bucci. That's a feel there.
Shug, where can the folks find you, Shug?
You can find me at ShugKnight323 on Twitter. You can find me Mondays with Ferris doing a sports show called The Highlights. You can find me with the Let's Get Ready on Fridays and doing our interviews. We are going to be making some big changes coming January, so get ready for that. Like Justin said, we have the web page now. We have our merch store. We have the Holocron. We have the watch-alongs that Bedore is doing till March. We have a lot of cool stuff coming. So make sure. My big thing is making sure you guys go check out the Holocron. I think it's one of the best Star Wars shows out there. And I've been watching some Star Wars show, and it's not even close. I think Bedore is doing a great job. And just make sure to check that out. Make sure to share, like all our stuff. We do have the audio feeds and all that. And yeah, just everything. Just look at on Twitter for the Let's Get Ready MTS, and we will send all that stuff out there. And make sure to join us tomorrow, man, because this is a big thing for us tomorrow. Come hang out with us. I'll try to send a bottle of raspberry vodka to Bedore so you guys can really have some fun. But, yeah. There you go. But yeah, thank you PLD for helping us. Thank you Cinefanatics for including us. Like I said, it was a year that I met you guys, and now we're doing this with you, and it's truly amazing. Thank you for making inviting us into the reactor space and being so kind with your time and knowledge and your help with us. We really appreciate you guys. C2A, Take 3, Cinefanatics, POV. All the reaction channels. We really appreciate all you guys.
I mean, we could become the Walmart and like just band together and then destroy everybody else.
What is it with the Southern U.S. and Walmart? I mean, seriously.
Why can't we be Kmart? Why can't we be Kmart?
Because they're already out of business. Why would we want to model ourselves after that?
I will say this: like, I'm definitely new to the reactor life thing, but I really, really, really do appreciate you guys and how all of you have welcomed me and like family.
We love you.
Love you too. Husband.
All right, Chris, anything you want specifically socially after?
Man, I do a show with her and I'm only the side host. She shows way more love to you.
Yeah.
She gives me crap all the time. Tells me to shut up.
I do.
Anything you want to plug, Chris, for yourself?
Nah, I think we covered it with all the Cinefanatics stuff. Come back to our channel on Tuesday night. There you go.
Okay, I got a lot. I feel like John Roca sometimes, all the stuff I have to plug now recently, but it's all right.
No, you don't have to. Let's just cut it off.
We got call to action. And of course, I already talked about one thing. We got chill to action I do with Danny Ramirez. We're going to go bi-weekly, it seems like now. On the 20th, I'll announce it here. We got Shannon Barney going to come on. That should be a lot of fun to do that. You can also find me on PLD Projects, my own YouTube channel. Bedore is going to join me early this morning, 6:30 a.m. in the Eastern time. With my friend Richard Jarvie from Estonia, Matty Gunner from the UK. We're going to be talking Mandalorian from the last episode and also
talking about Maul.
The Star Wars, the Disney stuff. We talked about Star Wars. And also you can find me on Action Industries. We're going to do another episode of Root of the Question. Later
that's going to be fun.
We're doing that.
And the lighter's ready. Here we go.
Damn, Shug. I'm not laughing at Paul. I'm laughing at Shug's immediate, just burst out laughing. That was great.
We had a fun night. I had to go and let's get ready and do some damage control. It's fine, but it was a good show. I still hold true that it was a good show and it was well intentioned, and we're gonna do it.
I loved it. Wait! I forgot that y'all still doing that show.
We are gonna do it. Yes.
Wow.
It's a monthly show. It's a monthly show.
Justin, we're gonna have to go live right after. So we can invite people.
Last time it was accident.
Campbell, and he was happy about the show. Christian was also happy with the show overall.
Hey, last time it was totally on accident. We were just goofing around, and this happened to be on when things were going down. So this time it'll be on purpose, accident.
Wow!
If you watch the show, I think you'll find that is a good show and well intentioned. It is a positive show.
Bro,
yeah, for sure, PLD.
Wow, Shug.
Nah, for real, if you said what you just said, though, that's probably the way it should have started. I think that's the biggest ordeal. People just didn't talk to PJ beforehand, and then that's it. That's a minor mistake that happened. You could fix it. It'd be
I think
awesome.
a lot of people are reactive without seeing the show. They kind of jumped on it because we got it. It's okay. It's fine. PJ's actually happy about the show overall. He thinks it could be good as long as it's done the right way. And I think it is done the right way. So we have nothing but love for the writing crew. It's all just about a fun time. So that'll be happening probably in late December as well. I do last time with Ben and Drew. And finally, coming up next on Thursdays on the Schmodown Entertainment Network for Brad and Jen, I produce for them and hang out with them a lot. And that's a lot of fun as well. So that is it for me. We have one final stream lab, which I've been saving.
Before
Go
that,
ahead.
make sure you guys go support also PJ Campbell on his network, PJ
Absolutely,
Campbell Network, on Twitter and on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch.
Yes, I like to consider myself. They've said I'm a PJ Campbell Network like affiliate. I'm like a sidebar. I kind of go there a lot. I love those guys a lot. So Max was in this earlier. So
I'm coming at you, Chris. If you happen to be watching this, jackass, with your little game,
No,
like Mario Party that he's been playing for 40
No.
damn years, and then he puts people on there that don't know what the hell they're doing, and then laughs whenever something bad happens to them. Get out of here.
Hey, one of you guys was winning, and then they gave them.
I cannot believe how screwed I got that night. Ferris could have just bent me over with no lube and
PLD, I would
Get out
highly
my
recommend just muting them right now because they
I
will go
almost
off.
should. I pretty much should at this point.
This does actually look like the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmodown channel.
One more stream lab from the
Even the purple light.
Nerd Chronic does give us a last stream lab, and it's great that we end with this, considering we started this whole stream in the idea of trying to semi-recreate as we can the wonderful show that Eric put on last year. He invited all the reactors over to react to the Family versus M match, and we all had a great time, and some of us had a
really
time.
great time. Yeah.
So,
and then a not so great time, but you didn't feel it anyway, so it didn't matter.
But Eric is one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life. He's very supportive of everybody in the community. And he works harder than anybody in the community. Seriously, Yodi for Chronic, because the Schmodown has changed so much since he has taken over. Like, no slight meant to anybody else before, but it's amazing the difference between like what he's done versus what was before. His promos do so much for the community, and he's so nice, so loving. I mean, he took us out, and I took the Action Army out. Like, he paid for a meal, whatever. He was just amazing. He really is an amazing guy. Real quick, he does have a stream lab. He does say, "Wish I could have made it all." He was supposed to be. That's right. He was supposed to be on tonight potentially. We were trying to hope that he'd probably be able to pop in. He wasn't able to. He does say, "Wish I could have made it all." Duty calls. Next year, we'll be doing this at my place again. I hope. I'll hold you to it, my friend. I'll bring the Jameson. You bring the reactions. Much love. So
I'll bring the wine.
Exactly. There you go. And Bador, if you're here, I hope you are. You bring the wine. It'll be awesome. So without further ado, for the Cinefanatics, for POV, who was here earlier, for Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmodown podcast, and for Call to Action as well, and for all of us on screen, I will say thank you so much for appearing here, watching us this whole 4-hour stream. Thank you for everybody for donating to Kevin Smets. We appreciate you. We love you so much. I love all you guys on screen, all you guys who have been on the screen. Love all you guys. Love the Schmodown community more than anything. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a great time tomorrow. And as always, my friends, I salute you. Take care. Much love.